1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And welcome, everybody, to the Sam Bourquin Show. We are live on AM 1310 WDPN. We are also broadcasting, streaming. You can check us out on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. And, of course, you can watch and listen live on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page and X page. We are live at the Crassus Center. More importantly, we are at the St. Harlebus Church for tonight's 2020-25 Stark County High School Football Preview Show. Right? Did I say 25?
2020-25.
Did I say 2020-25? That was an echo in your headset, Gus. Don't be coming at me with that. Sam Bourquin, Ryan Keller with you today, like I did there. I'll tell you what, this is usually when this event pops up on the old calendar, you know that Mr. High School Football is just kind of lurking around the corner, right? And here we are.
Yeah, you wait and you wait and you wait, and then all of a sudden, a blink of the eye, and you've got football action. And this is like, Hall of Fame festivities is like the kickoff for the NFL. This is kind of the kickoff for high school football in Stark County, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it's good. We're going to have a lot of coaches on later this afternoon as they trickle in, hopefully closer to 5 o'clock. They have a fantastic dinner here. There is a coaches panel. They've been doing this here for a long time. I want to say it's been almost 20 years. Maybe not quite, but I know I'm in the neighborhood there. They do a great job over here at the church. And the coaches, to be honest, and if you ask a lot of the coaches, they'll tell you, don't like to do a lot of stuff once football season starts, but they love coming to this event because they get to see their other colleagues. They get to have a great dinner. They have a little social hour beforehand, and they just get to meet up with a bunch of people and address the crowd when dinner's over, and get a few photos. And it's fun for them. Some are coming directly right after practice. Some they don't have anything going on this day, so it's kind of fun for them to just come on over and get the band together, so to speak, and come on over and have a great time. And we're going to be broadcasting live the entire show today. So we want you to tune in, listen, interact with us on all of the AM 1310 WDPN social media platforms, X, Twitter, Facebook, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Drop us a comment, and we're ready to go. I mean, we're going to be talking hardcore football here in a couple of hours. In the meantime, we'll just kind of talk a little high school football, Keller and I, about some of the teams, some of the schedules, some of the players to look for. We'll keep you in charge with what the Guardians are doing. They're with the Mets today. They're winning, and I think they've been like the 7th or 8th inning, and the Guardians are going for a sweep today. I said on the show yesterday, I said, if we could just get 2 out of 3, I'm not going to be greedy. And then I followed that up with, probably at about 1 o'clock. If we're going for the sweep, I'm gonna be mad if we don't get it. And things are looking really juicy right now. 4-0 Guardians in the top of the 9th inning at Citi Field. So I don't know what got into the team, but hey, keep giving it to them. We'll keep you in touch with what's going on in the rest of the baseball scores today as we will start I think we're going to have to start an official wild card watch coming up here in a couple of weeks, and when things really get serious. But if there's any breaking news in the sports world, obviously we'll have that today. We'll check the baseball scores, what's going on in some of the NFL camps. More hurricane-like weather down in Carolina today and yesterday for the Browns joint practice with the Panthers, but they did get out on the field today for a little bit. And number 12 officially, we heard yesterday, but today they had to make their big announcement. Shedeur Sanders will get the start Friday night in Carolina. And I don't know what to expect. I'm telling myself, don't expect anything. Let the kid go out there and play. He's not going to be with any of the number ones. So that really doesn't matter because he hasn't been practicing with the number
Yeah.
ones. He's been with the twos. So, let's just go out there. I think he's going to play at least a half, maybe more, and Huntley's going to get the rest. That's it. Nobody else is going to play.
Yeah, you have to see what he can bring in live action against another team. And a friend of mine is going to be at the game. He lives in the Carolinas, and I'm interested to see what the response is from like the crowd and stuff as well when Sanders comes out onto the field. And I'd go out and I'd let him rip it, let him sling the ball around, let him be who he is, because a player like that too who is able to move out of the pocket and use his legs a little bit if he needs to. You don't want to pigeonhole them and try to create them into something they're not. So let him go out, let him be Shedeur Sanders, and let him sling the rock and use his legs a little bit and see actually what you got from Sanders. And if the hype for where he was projected to get drafted to where he actually got drafted, if there is a big discrepancy in that, or if there was a reason that, he fell to where he did. So it'll be interesting to see, and it's football and we're back and I'm excited.
I think when I look at Shedeur, I think this is what I think the Browns are going to do. I could be wrong, but this is what I think we're going to do because I, like you, want them to do that. Let them go out there and rip. Yeah. Let's go. You're a 5th round pick. You're 122nd pick. Go do something. My thought is they're going to do little 2-yard passes, maybe some screens, 5-yard outs, and a lot of running. That's my fear.
run, play action on 3rd down.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that that's predictable or anything, but that's what worries me. That the offensive staff and Stefanski are going to do. Now, I also look at it this way. The young man played high school football. He played at Jackson State. He played at Colorado. Now he's in the NFL. So I'm assuming, even though his last name is Sanders and his father's first name is Dion, I'm assuming that his heart is going to be pounding a little bit faster than normal.
Yeah.
This is the first preseason game. It's on the road. It's no more inter squad, no more different colored jerseys, so you don't get hit. This is it. The live bullets are flying, and I'm not saying that he's not ready for it, but you've got to be ready for that because it's a whole big step up from what you've been doing.
Yeah. I got some breaking news, Sam.
Good or bad?
Good. But I
don't. No, nothing to do with the WWE and ESPN, right?
It's the Guardians.
Oh, they won? They finished it up?
No, but I'm afraid to say what it is because I don't want to jinx it.
Okay, wait a minute. They were up 4-0 the last I looked. They're going to the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah.
They can't make any trades.
I don't want to jinx it by saying it. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Gavin Williams.
That's it. Folks, the show's over. We're going to go watch the Guardians on TV. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There's a no-hitter going?
Right now, Gavin Williams. Christian just texted me.
I have no idea because I can't pull up the box in here.
Here, watch this. We're going to make this we're going to go.
Oh, here it is. Okay, he does. Okay, so it's a no-hitter. He's got 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. Yeah, pull that thing up over there.
I will.
8 innings, no hits, no runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Get out of that because I've got boom.
Oh, how are we supposed to do a show when he's going for a no-hitter? Come on. See what you can do over there, and we will keep everybody up to date by the pitch if we can. I've got a little something pulled up on my one phone here. I will be able to do that. So, okay, I'm not posting that stuff because I
didn't want to say anything.
So
I don't want to be the guy that jinx it.
Okay, so we've got it pulled up live on Keller's, whatever you call that,
tablet.
At Citi Field. Gavin Williams. There's a look at Stephen Vogt in the dugout. Oh my God! And he's going up against Frankie Lindor, and he just stuck him out on a wicked curveball.
That was gross.
So there's 1 out. Folks, this was supposed to be all about football today, but you know what? When there's a no-hitter and you're trying to chase teams for a wild card spot, I think that kind of takes premise today.
It would have been awful if Lindor was the one to break it up.
Right.
Too.
That was a nasty curveball. Can you imagine Hamilton right now?
Yeah, 116 pitches right now for Williams.
Okay. Let him out there, voter.
Boy, and then you got the top three of the Mets
right.
lineup.
You're getting 1, 2, and 3 at Citi Field. The Guardians up 4-zip. Gavin Williams has a no-hitter right now, 8 1/3. Oh no! Soto just hit one 100,000 yards, and it's off the top of the wall. Unbelievable. Or no, is that a home run? It's a home run.
Oh my gosh!
Well, there goes the no-hitter. There goes the shutout. One pitch.
Well, hey. 2 more outs, you still get the dub. You get the sweep.
You take him out now?
Yeah, probably. He's thrown 117 pitches. Great effort, but
that is Heartbreak City. Juan Soto. Look at the Guardians bench. They cannot believe it.
He almost caught that too.
I want to see a replay. Now, did it go over the? Let's see.
And probably hit the line.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it was way over. Hit the black. Hit the black wall behind the one wall, which is so stupid. Like that's really hard to tell. Yep, Gavin knew it as soon as it bounced off the wall. Yeah. Well, that's a heck of a.
At least they're laughing at it now. And
Austin Hedges is out there. They're getting a laugh. The umpire's coming out. I imagine vote. Oh no, they're going to leave him in because Carl Willis is out there. It's not Stephen Vogt, so they're going to leave him in.
Settle down and.
8 1/3 innings of no-hit baseball. So it's 4-1 Cleveland.
I shouldn't have said anything. It's my fault.
Oh, that's too bad.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Let's see. Let's get another look at you know what? That was a batting. I hate to say this, but that was a batting practice fastball.
Yeah.
He just got it up. And Soto hit it. He knew it.
Threw a two-seamer, started on the inside of the plate, and just ventured right out, right across the middle.
Wow.
But good. I'm glad they leave.
They're going to leave him in.
That's great.
That's interesting.
Try to save the bullpen a little bit.
That is interesting. All right, Gavin, we'll finish it up here. Let's get out of here and get the sweep, man.
Still throwing heat.
Yes,
95.
Yes, he is. 100 and some pitches, and he's still throwing 95.
Yeah, they have Gaddis warming up in the bullpen right now.
Oh, that doesn't really make me feel great. Come on, young man. Finish this thing up on your own here. All right, Sam Bourquin Keller. We are broadcasting live today from St. Harlebus Church, the Crosses Center. The big high school football preview is tonight. A little pop up the right field. That'll be 2 outs, so we need one more to get the sweep. A lot of the coaches will be coming by about 5 o'clock as we get you ready for the 2025 high school football season. A little bit later on today, we're going to kind of change things up today a little bit. Different opens to each hour. We're going to go all football bumper music today. We may or may not do On This Day in Sports History because that's going to be like slam time to get these coaches in. So we may not do that today. We'll bring it back tomorrow at about 5:26 as we usually do here on the program. But today's all about the high school football in Stark County and, of course, us getting ready. 1310 WDPN, our friends across the hall at Q92. Q92radiosports.com. It's going to be a heck of a good year. We're going to have tons of coverage of a ton of games with great people bringing you the coverage, and I think we're going to do a real nice job, and I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait. It's been too long since the end of last season. I'm ready to get going. We've got some great broadcast teams for you this year as well. Antonio Hall is going to be joining me this year. As my color commentary. Looking forward to that as well. Coach Hall and I got to know each other just from me calling games and talking to him beforehand and during and after games and stuff like that. So looking forward to that. We got a great lineup, some great teams, and what I love so much about Stark County football is from year to year, you never know which team is going to pop up. Like, McKinley is always going to put out a high quality product and Massillon, obviously, but there's other teams, Jackson, Perry. Sometimes you never know what you're going to get from these guys, and Lake. And I just love Stark County football, growing up in Trumbull County and thinking, this is where football's at. And you come down here in Stark County and it's it's a completely different ball game, and I love it. Looking forward to the season.
Yeah. By the way, Gavin Williams just issued a walk. I would assume this will be it. Here comes Stephen Vogt. And I'm assuming that the folks at Citi Field are going to give him a standing ovation, even though he is on the enemy today. That was a pretty good pitch there, Blue. A pretty good pitch there, Blue. Missed that one. So here comes Vogt. He'll take Gavin Williams. He gets high fives and a little pat on the behind by everybody. He'll make his way out, and there they go. There's the standing ovation from the crowd in New York today. 4-1 Guardians, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, but Gavin Williams was 2 outs away from a no-hitter, but pretty cool stuff.
If you were a pitcher and had to get and you gave up a no-hitter, would you rather it be a home run like Williams did or like an infield single? Which would you pick?
That's a tough question because when you give up a home run, you lose the no-hitter and the shutout.
Yeah.
That's a great question. and being a pitcher, that's hard for me
to answer, right?
Because if it was some little Mickey Mouse bleeder that nobody could get a handle on it, or it was a little spinner in the dirt, and nobody could pick it up and throw it, that would really. Or if somebody tried to bunt.
I've seen that before, and I don't like that. That will just anger me.
Yes.
I thought the home run or like an infield single or a CNI single would be more along the lines of if you're a pitcher trying to deal with.
You know what? As long as I have a lead of 4, I'll give up the home run.
There you go.
I'll give you the shutout.
Yeah.
Because I know you beat me probably on a fastball. And you didn't get a cheap hit.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that.
I'm the same. I think I would take it. I would take a dinger over a seeing eye single.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's take our first break. We are broadcasting live today, the Sam Bourquin Show. Keller joining me today from St. Barnabas Church, and we are getting ready for the big high school football preview later on tonight. We're going to have plenty of coaches. We're going to break down the Stark County high school football scene. We got lots to get to. We're just getting started here on AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
DeHoff's Flowers, Greenhouse and Landscaping is celebrating the Carnation City. Carnations are available to purchase by the dozen at just $11.95, or in arrangements for your friends and family, and some for you too. DeHoff's is offering its entire stock of perennials for the special price of 25% off. Plant now and enjoy them again when they bloom next year. DeHoff's has a great assortment to choose from: blanket flowers, bee balm, sedums, butterfly flowers, black-eyed Susan, and many more. Attract pollinators, add color, and enjoy easy-to-care-for perennials. DeHoff's rose bushes are $5 off, too. That's right, save $5 on a rose bush, climbers, hybrid teas, even some easy-to-care-for knockouts. Find beautiful color at DeHoff's Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping in Alliance.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. We are live at the St. Barnabas Church getting ready for the Stark County High School football preview program that's going to get underway. Yeah, the coaches usually start talking about 7 or 8.
Yeah, dinner starts at 6:30.
Dinner's at 6, so the coaches, it's 6:30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the coaches probably about, it's going to be close to 8 o'clock. But we're going to be on with you till 6 tonight. We're going to have some of the coaches on. We'll be talking to them about their team and about what they're excited about for this year and stuff that maybe they're going to change from a year ago. Some teams with little different looks to their schedules this year as far as the non-conference games, who they're playing at home, who they're playing on the road. We'll run down the scrimmage schedules for you coming up here after the bottom of the hour news and weather break. That's about 60 seconds away. So we got lots of football to talk about today. No phone calls since we are on location, but you can text us at 330-924-7088. Again, that text number, 330-924-7088. Again, Guardians, man alive. They swept the Mets today. Gavin Williams almost got a no-hitter. Almost. 8 1/3. Guardians beat New York by the score of 4-1. So now let me see.
Tigers losing again, 9-4 in the 7th.
Oh my God! So we're only 6 out of first. Are you what? Unbelievable! I mean, unbelievable. In the wild card, we took another half game. That should get us to 2. And depending on what Seattle and Boston and New York. If Stephen Vogt pulls this off this year, then they need to build a statue. Folks, you know what he's working with. You know how it is with the terrible amount of money and resources they give him. And if he is able to bring this team back from the dead after that 10-game losing streak, then a statue and a parade for Stephen Vogt. I don't even care if he wins the World Series. If he gets to the World Series this year, that'll be it. Unbelievable. We'll take a break. News and weather coming up. The Sam Bourquin Show live, 1310 WDPN from the St. Harlambus Church. It's the 2025 high school football preview coming up a little bit later on, and we'll be here way up until that. Stay with us.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Officials say an Army sergeant opened fire at Fort Stewart, Georgia, wounding 5 soldiers and prompting a brief lockdown at one of the country's largest Army bases. Few details were immediately available about what led to today's gunfire. A U.S. official says the shooter is an Army sergeant. They were not authorized to publicly discuss details of the investigation and spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity. This latest act of violence on a U.S. military installation raises concerns about safety and security within the armed forces' own walls. President Trump says the FBI may need to get involved to bring the Texas Democrat lawmakers who fled the state back to Texas. They left to stop a redistricting vote favored by Republicans. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has more.
Texas Governor Abbott has already threatened to arrest them, and now he's calling on the state Supreme Court to remove the top Democrat, Gene Wu, from his position. And Gene Wu is responding in a statement saying, quote, "History will judge this moment. It will show a governor who used the law as a weapon to silence his people, and it will show those of us who stood for a higher principle."
Meanwhile, police in Illinois say the hotel where those Democrats are staying was temporarily evacuated after a bomb threat. The lawmakers say they are safe, sound, and undeterred. President Trump has signed an executive order to place an additional 25% tariff on India for its purchases of Russian oil. That brings the combined tariffs imposed by the United States on its ally to 50%. The tariffs would take effect 21 days after the signing of today's order, meaning that both India and Russia might have time to negotiate with the administration on the import taxes. Trump's moves could scramble the economic trajectory of India, which until recently was seen as an alternative to China by American companies looking to relocate their manufacturing. China also buys oil from Russia, but wasn't included in the order. A pair of reports on crime in America finds that both violent and nonviolent offenses were lower last year compared to 2023. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
Both the FBI and the Major Cities Chiefs Association have found significant declines in violent offenses, but the trend is not universal. The MCAA report shows Denver, Orlando, Portland, and Tampa each with a 50% drop in homicides in the first 6 months of this year. But Cincinnati, El Paso, and Milwaukee showed increases. Boston, according to the Police Chiefs Association, saw a 143% surge in murders January to June. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
It's 82 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast for this afternoon calling for clouds giving way to sunshine with a high near 84 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, a low near 61. Thursday, sunny, a high near 84. Mostly sunny Friday, a high near 86. Still sunny Saturday, a high near 88. That's your WDPN weather.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. You've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
AM 1310 WDPN, Sam Bourquin Show, live on location again today. Hanging out with my man Keller. We are live at the St. Harmlobus Church, the Crassus Center. Tonight is the home of the 2025 high school football preview in Stark County. And we're going to be talking a lot of football here this afternoon. You can text us your thoughts. You can drop us a line on our social media platforms. Let's see, D is checking in. Hey, guy. Okay, Mets got a double. He says, check that. It's called a home run. D, thank you for checking in. Yeah, Guardians beat the Mets 4-1. Gavin Williams had a no-no. 8 1/3 inning, and then Juan Soto, hit a home run, dead center field, broke up the shutout, broke up the no-hitter. But we got the sweep.
We did.
And that's all that matters. And then the White Sox are coming to town this weekend. Keep the brooms out.
Let's hope.
Right? Look, I know it's sports and the world works differently, but if you can go to New York and sweep the Mets, you should be able to sweep the White Sox in your own backyard. I'm demanding it. You need to look. There's an old saying: you split with the good guys and beat the bums. You got to beat the bums. You got to sweep the White Sox this weekend. Hey, what are we? We're now 6 out in the division now.
Well, after the
game today,
yeah, the Twins are up 9-4 over the Tigers, bottom of the 8th. And the Yankees are currently losing to the Rangers 1-0, top 4.
I love it. So we are now 59-55. The Tigers will be 66-50. That will shave an entire game off. So we will be 6 out in the division. Now, the wild card, we were a game and a half out going into today. So we will scoreboard watch Boston, Seattle, the Yankees, and the Rangers today and tonight.
Rangers are playing the Yankees. So
well, we can't lose there.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't win and we can't lose.
Yeah, so Rangers are playing the Yankees. Who else do you say?
Give me Boston and Seattle.
They
Maybe
are
later on tonight.
Upcoming. Let's see. Boston plays Kansas City at 7:10.
Okay.
Seattle has the White Sox at 9:40 tonight. So we won't know much until.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I also love high school football. I know you love high school football. Jake, do you love high school football? Sure he does. He's nodding in agreement over here to our left. Jake does a great job setting us up, getting us going. If there's anything that crashes or goes out, he's on top of it and did a great job for us over the Hall of Fame, and we appreciate his efforts. And don't ever leave. Okay?
Love you, Jake.
Don't ever leave, buddy. Don't ever leave. I made sure I got Jake some ice cream the other day, so he doesn't think about ever leaving. Keep him fed and hydrated, and keep him happy. That's what I say. All right. So when I say to you, Keller, and you touched on it a little bit, you being from Trumbull County, playing for Warren JFK of the tradition-rich high school football program, Tony Napolet, and a lot of great players back in the day, and still they have a tremendous program. When I say Stark County high school football, what do you think? What's the first sentence or two that wants to come out?
Every team is competitive, whether they win or
Yeah,
lose. They're always competitive, and this is a coach's banquet. So I mean, and they're always prepared. Like they do such a good job with these young kids, and not just the Federal League, the EBC. We cover them. We cover the PAC. I mean, we cover a large area of high school sports, but all the teams seem to be prepared, and it is competitive. And from year to year, you don't know which team is going to take that next step up. And, you see it from time to time. And a couple years ago, Glen Oak wasn't doing so well, and then they ended up getting hot. And it just, it's so interesting when you get to that week one, trying to figure out which teams are going to take that next step. And, being able to call the games, what I always find most interesting, and I believe I talk about it every year I've done this coaches show, is the player that last year you could kind of start to see glimpses of this kid is going to be something special. And then coming into that next year and seeing them take that next step, seeing them take that leadership role. It might have been an underclassman who, is now a junior or a senior, but seeing the growth of some of the young kids in this area, it's awesome.
Let's look at the coaches, because that's a big reason why your statement rings so true.
Yeah.
Every team is prepared, because you have to have a coach who is big on being prepared, big on being organized, big on being a coach, obviously, big on being a mentor or a father figure, big on developing boys into men. And discipline is a big part of it.
Yep.
A little pat on the back is a big part of it. Sometimes you got to reach in and you got to give them the hug, okay? These are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, 15, some of them, that are going through life, and it's not just football. It's we all been there.
Yeah.
Remember when we were that age?
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah.
It's school. It's supposed to be good nutrition. You're finding your way through a little bit. Girls enter the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on. Your homework, your relationships that you develop for the rest of your life, and that's what these coaches are in for. And that's the kids look up to them for some guidance and help, even though these days that may sound a little, oh, come on, times have changed. Well, okay, maybe the times have, but sometimes situations and circumstances don't.
I think they need it more now. I think they need that extra reinforcement and having that positive figure in their life. And, having a coach, you mentioned the off the field stuff. It's, being a good teammate, building the camaraderie with the guy that you're lining up to. If you're I was an offensive lineman, building that relationship with the guy on the right and the guy on the left of you. And there's so much more to it than just the game of football. And, talking about the head coaches, we're looking at a list and the longevity of some of these coaches here. And it goes to show why they have been around so long. And even if, Coach Zach Slates, for example, was an assistant coach and then the head coach at Perry, and he might not be with Perry this year, but he has another coaching gig. He's still in the area. Is his first year with Minerva. So, the coaches seem to stay in this area.
Yeah, because it's a very passionate area. There are some areas in Ohio, and I'm not naming them to poo-poo them, but I mean, come on. I mean, even down in Franklin County, where the Ohio State is, which is a recruiting hotbed there's just not there just isn't.
Yeah.
Look, I will say this. I've always said our area is the best, and not just because I live here, and not just because I've been in the media or I've been a fan or a student athlete. I think it's the best here for everything that we talked about. Not to say that maybe some areas haven't caught up a little bit. I think Trumbull County, Mahoning County is pretty darn good too. I think that obviously the GCL is very good down there in Cincinnati. I think the MAAC in the Northwest Quadrant with Coldwater and Delta St. John and Minster and all those teams is very, very good. But I think top to bottom here, it's good. And let's look at these coaches, and we'll go shortest amount of tenure to, how about that? That's my old Perry High School, seeing if I want to come back and be a sub again. Not tomorrow. What are you doing in there tomorrow? So this is our first-year coaches at their particular schools. Obviously, Renzi Parnell has been with Hoban for many years. Zach, the head coach at Perry, for a few years. And Spencer Leno has been an assistant coach. So those guys, Renzi Parnell, first year at McKinley. Zach, first year at Minerva. Spencer Leno, first year at Perry. Those are some schools where it's, and even Minerva, and I know they've struggled, but there's still bars at Minerva because they had a very rich tradition at one point that's kind of faded a little bit. They're trying to bring it back. But you talk about guys jumping in to Minerva, jumping into Perry, jumping into McKinley.
Yeah.
Big steps.
Yeah, those are
steps
and big shoes to fill, and coming into high quality programs that are all going to have high expectations coming into this year, especially McKinley and Perry. Minerva, it might take Coach Slate's a little bit of time to continue to build that program and get it to where he wants it to be. But two big schools in McKinley and Perry in the Federal League who've got new coaches coming in, new potential offenses, new defenses, new philosophies, new teaching and coaching techniques. So it'll be interesting to see, what they're able to do when they come in. But, they've all coached for great head coaches before. Coach Parnell coming from Hoban, and, Spencer Leno, who's at Perry, is coming from Massillon, and being under Nate Moore, and those are big programs that they're stepping away from to try to build a program of their own. So it'll be fun to watch those three teams this year and see what kind of steps they make in their first year.
Brock Dial in his second year with Tuslaw, and Brock has been around. Dalton, obviously, the last name Dial is a very, very affluent name as far as sports in the Northeast Ohio area. His second year at Tuslaw. You look at the third-year coaches, Kevin Henderson, his third year at St. Thomas. Chris Kappas, his third year at Louisville. I thought it was only two, but it's three. And Joe Cardinal in his third year with Marlington. Out of those three, and I'm looking at the Louisville situation, is this the year that they make a little step, they make a little noise, or are they still trying to get that program back to where they would like it, and they're still like, okay, it's going to be a little bit more time?
No, you'd like to see Louisville take that other step. It seemed for like 3 years or 4 years in a row, they had a new head coach every single year coming into there. So to have some stability in that program, I think will go a long way. They do have, I believe, a pretty tough schedule this year as well. Let me see. I came prepared. Look at this.
I did too, but I don't have any room to put all this stuff. I just got to stack it on top of each other.
New Philadelphia always has a great program down there. Alliance, Northwest, Marlington, Hoover, Central, Canfield, Greene, LaSalle, and Worcester. I mean, that is a tough schedule for them. So it'll be a really good test for them this year to see if they have taken the steps that they've needed to become the Louisville of old. Mark at the station's a Louisville grad, and hearing the history of that program and that school. Trying to get back there is not always an easy task, but Coach Capps has done a great job with them in trying to re-elevate them and try to get them on par with how good their basketball program's been.
Yeah, which is going to be challenged because the basketball program is well, they're only defending state champions, so that goes without saying. You look at fourth-year coach, and here's a coach and here's a school that I think were absolutely meant for each other, and that is Jay Rohr and Jackson. If you talk to Coach, and hopefully we'll be able to get him between 5 and 6 today, he would say that he wanted this to happen a year earlier, the progress that they have, because he demands a lot.
Yeah.
He has gone in there. They are tougher. They are more physical. More kids are coming out to play football now in the program, the youth program, than ever before. I think moving forward, I think the years of Jackson football of going 8-2 and then 5-5 and then 7-3 and then 4, I think those days are over. I expect, and I know he expects his guys to be no lower than a 7-win team every year, and he wants to be in the 8-win range.
Yeah.
And they want to make noise in the postseason. That's where he's got them right now.
Yeah, and there's something special about being a former player and coming back and having an opportunity to coach the school that you grew up playing for, because their traditions, the expectations, the philosophies and the way that school is. So having Coach Rohr be the head of that program after, for the longest time holding all the rushing records there at Jackson, and when you talk to him before the game, you can see how focused he is too, and he demands that focus out of his team as well. And I think a big thing too is mitigating turnovers and stupid mistakes. That's the biggest thing. And actually, you could say that for any of these on here is the self-inflicted penalties, the false starts, the offsides, that kind of stuff. And penalties, and I think Coach Rohr's done a great job so far. Helping to elevate that Jackson program.
Yeah, they're getting it going. They're catching fire. They're getting great support from the school. Again, more kids are coming out. And look, Jackson predominantly has been known as a basketball school. Girls soccer, girls tennis,
baseball.
Okay, yeah. Can't forget about baseball. But the footballs, they're taking baby steps, and I think those baby steps they're turning into adult steps now under Jay Rohr. A couple more I want to take a look at before we step away, and that's the fifth-year coaches Tim Goodman at Alliance. Hard to believe it's been 5 years already, right. And Matt Dennison in his fifth year at Canton South. Can't say enough about what Coach Matt's done with the Canton South and that run they made a couple of years ago before they ran into Glenville to end their season. And then you look at Alliance, and some years they spin their wheels. They can't, it's like, come on, you're close, you're on the precipice, and injuries will rear their ugly head. There'll be a tough loss late in the fourth quarter, and somehow the train it gets derailed. I don't know what to expect this year. I know Mr. Jackson, who's going to be not only outstanding on the football field, but he is so much fun to watch on the basketball floor. He will lead them, and they'll probably go as far as he leads them. But I want to know, we'll talk to Coach Goodman, hopefully, what's the depth situation like? How about the Letterman? And what shape is the program in now?
Yeah, and it's his fifth year, and as you said, I remember,
I can't believe it's been 5 years.
The first year meeting him at the coaches banquet. But again, he had Brandon Zerberg for his first, I think, 2 years as head coach, and then when you have such a prominent quarterback like that, even Canton South as well with was it
Poochie Snyder.
Poochie Snyder.
Yeah.
You know, you have that quarterback who has been a starter for such a long time in your program, and to lose them, you know, it takes a year or two to kind of rebuild that program, because a lot of times your backup quarterbacks are younger kids who might not have had the experience because they've been sitting behind a 3 or 4 year starter. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Jackson does for Alliance. I know Christian had a chance to watch him last year and call a lot of the Alliance games, and said how exciting he is and how much fun it is to see him on the field. So 2 programs where, you know, they had that little lull year after, you know, you lose your big named quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, who steps up to the plate and who's that next man up for those 2 programs.
And then John DeMarco, his 6th year at Northwest after coming over from Louisville. And all he's done is get this team ready for postseason play just about every year. Northwest, I think if they could be consistent in getting bigger kids on the line on both sides, they've had the skill, they've got the tacklers, they've got some speed. And I know Coach would say, if you give me Sam Bertigliano used to say, the old Browns coach way back in the 80s, he said, give me 5 condominiums on each side of the ball, and I'll beat you. I'll get the other stuff, but give me 5 guys that know what they're doing on the line. I think if Northwest could get that consistently, and I know sometimes it's harder at smaller schools to get the 6'5", 255 guy.
Yeah,
I think if they could get that, I think the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah, I'm a former offensive lineman. Everything starts up front.
What were you at your playing weight?
I was 225. I was 6 foot 225. Yeah, playing left guard. My tackle was 6'5", probably 250. So he was a little bigger guy, but everything starts up front. I mean, you see it at every level too. You see it all the way from Pee Wee all the way up through the NFL, that if you don't have an offensive line to open up the holes and to offer protection for your quarterback, then you are going to struggle. So I agree 100% with you. You get that strong presence on the line, both offense and defensively, and you never know what you're going to get.
All right, we'll take a break. We've got about 5 minutes till the top of the hour. Sam Bourquin and Keller broadcasting live, AM 1310 WDPN. We are live at St. Barnabas Church, getting ready for the 2025 Stark County High School football preview a little bit later on tonight. Stay with us. More to come. 1310 WDPN.
Hi, my name is Casey Jurina, and I am contestant number 12, sponsored by Hot Pots Pottery. An exciting event again this year will be the Carnation Youth Color Run. This event is scheduled on Wednesday, August 6th at 6 p.m. at the tennis courts at Silver Park. Please pre-register at Alliance Family YMCA.
Join us for the 65th Annual Alliance Carnation Festival, now through August 10th. This beloved tradition pays homage to Alliance, known as the Carnation City, and promises an unforgettable experience for all. Experience the Food Fest at the University of Mount Union campus, featuring mouth-watering treats, a golf scramble, community luncheon, and a fire truck pump-in. Tour the Haynes House, Mabel Hartzell Home, and Beach Creek Gardens. Enjoy free craft displays, delicious food, and captivating live entertainment during Carnation Days in the park. Immerse yourself in Shakespeare's The Tempest at Glamorgan Castle. Thursday through Sunday brings a range of activities, including a fun-filled pet show, breathtaking hot air balloons, invigorating nature hikes, and an irresistible used book sale. Mark your calendars for the main event, Saturday, August 9th, with the Grand Parade at 11 a.m. Marching from State Street to Broadway Avenue, then head to Silver Park for more fun and a heart-pounding fireworks show that evening. Make lasting memories. Check out all the events at carnationfestival.com.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score. and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
Church, getting ready for the Stark County High School football preview. It's coming up a little bit later on tonight. I know the coaches will be coming in hopefully close to 5 o'clock. They'll get the social hour, dinner, and then they will have the panel. And usually there's a couple hundred of the rabid Stark County fans here to listen to the coaches talk. I know a lot of the administrators come, a lot of the people from the Booster Club come, and just good old-fashioned high school football fans come out because they're ready about this time of year. Even though it's very warm and it will continue to be sizzling the next 4 or 5 days, they're ready for football. The Browns are going to play Friday. The Buckeyes are practicing. Mount Union's on the practice field. So there's a lot of stuff going on. We started talking about the great coaches in the area, and we will get back to that list. I wanted to go about halfway through, and then once we start the 4 o'clock hour, we'll jump back in with our coach going into his 8th year at Fairless, my guy, A.J. Sarbaugh. So we'll start with the list there. We'll go all the way up to the coach that is the most tenured in the county. And, we'll tell you about that when we get back. Sam Bourquin and Keller broadcasting live. It is the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget you can watch and listen on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our X page, and the Q92 radio page on YouTube, and you can check us out all over your social media platforms. We'll break for the news and weather and come back. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. Authorities are investigating today's shooting at an Army base in Georgia. The gunman at Fort Stewart was an Army sergeant who was arrested on a DUI charge earlier this year. 5 other soldiers were hospitalized in the incident, including 2 who are currently being treated at a level 1 trauma center about an hour away in Savannah. Van Johnson is the mayor of that city.
I spoke with the lieutenant colonel upon this happening while he was still locked down. I spoke with the Liberty County chairman. I spoke with the mayor of Hinesville. I've offered whatever support we can give them. We're all one community.
Officials say the shooting took place at the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area.
This is specifically a combat unit. We should also point out that even within combat units, there are a lot of logistical support, a lot of companies, a lot of units as well that are associated with it.
ABC's Louis Martinez at the Pentagon. This is ABC News.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop, because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. The Stark County Grand Jury will consider issuing an indictment for a Canton man accused in a fatal shooting. The case of 25-year-old Deontay McCollum was bound over following a status conference today in Canton Municipal Court. Bond was continued at $1 million. McCollum is charged with murder and felonious assault in the August 1st slaying of 19-year-old Braylon Foster of Canton. He was shot at a barber shop on Mahoning Road Northeast. McCollum's defense attorney has said his client claims self-defense. Prosecutors argue Foster did not pull a gun on him. Non-teaching staff in the Alliance School District are getting a pay raise. Board of Education met in special session Tuesday and approved a letter of intent between the district and OPSI Local 265. Superintendent Rob Gress says it's part of an existing agreement with the union.
We're going into the third year of a 3-year contract that had a clause in it that left the potential for a raise sort of up in the air. So as we met with them, we've agreed upon that and we're able to come to that agreement with them for this coming school year.
Roughly 150 bus drivers and aides, secretaries, maintenance, and custodial employees will receive a 3% increase in base pay. The board also agreed to withdraw a related grievance appealed to arbitration. SARTA will be looking for public feedback as it develops a new 5-year transit development plan. The Transit Authority will hold a breakfast meeting tomorrow morning at its main office in Canton. The 7:30 session is open to the public by reservation and will be followed by a tour of the facility. SARTA will hold a field survey from tomorrow through September 5th, which will be available on the website, the SARTA Facebook page, transit centers, and at the booth at the Stark County Fair. CEO Kurt Conrad says input on the plan to be implemented will improve service and the quality of life in the community. 8 North Canton residents are seeking a vacant at-large seat on City Council. Matthew Stroya, who also was council president, resigned July 25th to replace Stephen Wilder as mayor. Those who applied for Stroya's seat are Jeffrey Allen, Joshua Sauter, Holly Pierpont, Mark Inzetta, Gregory Sarbach, Jeffrey Stalker, Kaylee Paris, and Lindsay Wright. Pierpont, Sauter, and Stalker have filed petitions for the Stark County Board of Elections. They will run for the full 2-year term for 3 at-large seats. Andrew Pratt also filed a petition. At-large member Stephanie Warren replaced Stroya as president. At-large member Christina Wayrick has filed to seek election to the Ward 3 seat. Council has 30 days to appoint Stroya's successor. Stark County artists and organizations are receiving funding from Arts in Stark. The more than $600,000 includes roughly $542,000 in Arts Build grants. They were awarded to the Canton Palace Theater, Canton Symphony, Massillon Museum, and Sing Stark, among others. Those receiving $104,000 in Arts Impact grants include Seat of the Pants Productions and the Great Lakes Michael Chekhov Consortium, JRC and Artful Living Learning, Massillon Museum, and Light After Loss and Kim Bader. The end is in sight for cleanup related to the February 2023 train derailment in East Palestine. That's according to Norfolk Southern, which says in a July 31st update that most of the site restoration is complete. Remaining work is expected to be finished in the coming weeks. The company says particulate matter monitoring continues in areas of active operations. It will be reduced as work wraps up. Mitigation in Sulphur Run is finished, and a final stream assessment is scheduled in the coming weeks to determine if they've met work plan goals. 2 stream assessments last year concluded there were no human health risks stemming from the derailment in surface water. Norfolk Southern submitted data from a March and April assessment to the EPA. Columbiana County Commissioners have approved an annexation that will allow for the construction of a K-8 building for Salem City Schools. The facility will be built on more than 67 acres of the former Winery Farm, which was in Perry Township. The City of Salem and Township trustees earlier reached agreement stating the city will receive all property tax and income tax associated with the parcel. Groundbreaking is set for August 20th, with the building to open in July 2027. Commissioners were required to grant the annexation after receipt of a petition and agreement between the city and Township. 2 people died in Tuscarawas County Tuesday afternoon when they were struck by a train. The sheriff's office says an employee of Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad called 911 around 4:30. The incident took place on a trestle crossing at State Route 212 in the Tuscarawas River between Zoar and Tusky Valley High School. The victims were pronounced dead at the scene by the county coroner. They were later identified as 20-year-old Hannah Smith of Tuscarawas and 21-year-old Jacob Beerworth of Dover. The coroner's office, Public Utilities Commission, and NTSB are investigating along with the sheriff's office. Youngstown police say 1 person was injured after an incident on the city's south side. Officers responded to a report of gunfire at a home on Shirley Road around 12:20 this afternoon. It's not clear how the person was hurt. They were taken to a hospital. A man in police custody was also transported. 2 cell phones on a sidewalk were found by an officer. An investigation is underway. Inside Hospital and Medical Center Trumbull in Warren and Hillside Rehabilitation in Howland have been closed since March, but that will soon change. WFMG-TV reports Insight Health Systems CEO Jawad Shah said the facilities will reopen in the coming weeks. He did not provide a specific date. Shah met with county commissioners Tuesday to discuss the topic. Hundreds of employees were furloughed when former owner Steward Healthcare stopped funding for services. Steward filed for bankruptcy last year. It's 83 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Gradually becoming sunny this afternoon. Today's high expected near 84 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of pleasant 61. Thursday, sunny skies, a high near 84. Friday, mostly sunny, a high near 86. For Saturday, continued sunny and warm, a high near 88. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
What?
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hour 2 of the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget you can watch and listen to us on the WDPN Facebook page, X page, and of course the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Keller is joining me on location today from the broadcast, as we will have the 2025 Stark County High School Football Preview Show a little bit later on. I should say the program. The program will be later on. This is the show right here. You can text us at 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Thanks to Jake for doing all his hard work today. Thanks for Keller for popping down. And we're going to be introducing you to a new member of our broadcast community here coming up in a couple of minutes. Big fella. I'm telling you, when we roll into these press boxes, you might need to make some more room for us. West Branch, Alliance, Marlington, okay? But we're going to introduce you to Caleb Nora coming up here in just a little bit. All right, we're going to be going over the scrimmage schedules coming up in a little bit, the schedules for the first couple of weeks. And, of course, the coaches will be starting to pop in here, hopefully. I'm hoping around 5 o'clock or so. We'll get as many on as we can up until 6, and then is anybody staying tonight besides myself going into the main room?
I got to head down.
You got to go downtown. You
I
got
gotta
to
go
do these for the
downtown.
FM tonight.
Yeah, correct. The free movie Wednesday downtown.
What's showing tonight?
Toy Story. The
I
first
love
Toy Story. Yeah,
I know I'm 50-some years old, but I love all the Toy Stories. Love them.
So that'll be free tonight. I'll be there from 6 until 7. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll get the movie going. Got some prizes, some games. We're going to have some fun. So.
And guess what? No threat of rain tonight.
I know.
Usually it's. I know our girl Nicolina's had to fight off the rain several times over the years for that, but going to be fun tonight. So whether you're interested in movies downtown or you got the football fever here with us on 1310 WDPN, thanks for coming aboard and hanging out with us today on this Wednesday afternoon. Okay. Oh, by the way, Gavin Williams, 8 1/3 no-hit innings today. Gave up a solo home run to Juan Soto in the 9th inning at, I almost said Shea Stadium, Citi Field today, and the Guardians still were able to hold on and beat the Mets by the score of 4-1. So Gavin Williams, you get a standing ovation from us. Great job today, partner, up in Queens. All right, back to our coaches. We've been talking about the tenure of our coaches, and we talked about our first-year coaches, Renzi Parnell, Zach Slate, Spencer Lino, our second-year coach, Brock Dial, third-year coach, Kevin Henderson at St. Tom, Chris Kappas at Louisville, Marlington's Joe Cardinal, third-year coach, Kevin Henderson, St. Tom, Jay Rohr, fourth year at Jackson, fifth-year coaches Tim Goodman, Alliance, Matt Dennison at South, and, of course, our good buddy John DeMarco at Northwest. Now, we go from 6th year to 8th year. A.J. Sarbaugh, 8 years at Fairless. There is no way in heaven's name that it's been 8 years, but it has.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Well, what a job he's done.
Phenomenal job with
How
the
is he
program.
still there?
Right.
Come on. No offense, but my guy's ready to take this next step. He's ready.
He's done a great job with that program and building it up. And you hear Fairless and you think playoffs now, and you think, a lot of wins throughout the season, and opening up on Thursday. We'll have that game on Q92radiosports.com.
That's right.
Sandy Valley, who is our coach number 9th year, kicking off at Fairless on Thursday.
That's going to be fun. Right off the rip. Here we go. At AJ, he played at Hoover, played at Mount. His X and O intellect, I think, is really special.
Yeah.
He knows that you have to do a couple of things to win. The old cliche. You got to run the football. You got to play good defense. You got to be sound. All that coach speak. The thing I love about AJ is he ain't afraid to get out there and do a little razzle dazzle, and he's not afraid to do it multiple times in the same quarter, the same half. I mean, and his kids love that. The fans love it, and oh, by the way, it works more times than it doesn't. And I think when you put those two philosophies together, the style that emulates out of that, kids love playing for him.
And it's the before I get to, you talk about style, he's one of the fanciest. I love the shirt and tie with the hat, vest and the hat.
Woody Hayes.
I love it.
Yeah.
It reminds you of old school football.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about trickery. Is there anything prettier than seeing a trick play executed flawlessly and to perfection, and having it result in what you actually drew it up to? Because there's a lot of trick plays that get drawn up when you're like, why would you even try that?
Exactly.
But he knows how to do it to where it gives the players enough time to do what they need to, and to still execute. And he's done a great job at Fairless.
And the thing that I love about when AJ calls a play like that, it's always about the element of surprise. A lot of times plays are called like that. You have to call a timeout, bring the kids over. Okay, this is what he just does it within the flow of the game.
Yeah.
Second down, third down, doesn't matter. Kids go out and execute, and those games are a hoot. I mean, I've been lucky enough to call some Fairless games the last couple of years, and they are fun. They are fun to do. All right, our 9th year coach, Brian Gamble at Sandy Valley. Had some pretty sweet quarterbacks go through there the last couple of years. They've had some real fun seasons. They've done great things with their facilities. They got the turf. They did some renovating of the stadium while Garth Evans was down there. Sandy Valley used to Sandy Valley's on the schedule. Okay. Nah, not anymore, man. Benny Thomas, my good man. His dad, Fred's still on the coaching staff down there.
He was my defensive coordinator when I was at Walsh.
Yes. So Sandy Valley, now you look for them to be upper echelon in the league and to go for 7-8 wins every. I'm not saying that that's expected, but that used to be like the pie in the sky reach. Not anymore.
Yeah,
not anymore.
And when you look at the list too, and you're like 9 years. And you got to be doing something right in order to stay there for that long. And he's done a fantastic job. He's always fun to talk to. He reminds me of like a very intense coach, but with a kind of laid back.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you can kind of see him be like, no, and go straight into coaching mode. Like he's so much fun to talk to, but you could totally see like on the sidelines, when he has to go into coach mode, he can turn it on very quickly. And Sandy Valley's been great.
Just like his brother, Billy, the Jackson baseball coach, and just like Dad Frank, who coached the Perry for a long time. And that's in the genes, man. That is in the Gamble genes. All right. Spider Miller, his 10th year at East Canton. What? 10 years? Seriously? Okay. Spider has been around at a few schools in the county as an assistant coach, as a head coach. Obviously McKinley, obviously Perry. He was an assistant at Massillon, and now his 10th year at East Canton. And a lot of people, maybe including himself, said, "Man, what am I doing? Am I crazy? What am I doing?" And the support that he's gotten from the administration over there, they East Canton, very small little village. Okay. Not a lot of students, not a big population, just a small town. They've built very quietly a nice little situation over there, all sports. But Spider's been doing it for 10 years, and what a great guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's another one that's very fun to talk to at this banquet.
Yes. Is
He'll
that before the banquet or after the banquet?
No, beforehand. But he'll walk by and he'll be like, "I'll be back. I need some refreshments," and then he'll come back.
You want to get a Sprite, are you?
Yes, and then he will come back and he will do his interview. And yeah, it's always great talking to him and the support from the community and the team and everyone there in East Canton. I mean, it goes to show. There was a couple years ago, and the community fought to keep him as the head coach there at East Canton, and that says when your players and the community rallies around you, there's definitely a reason behind it. And yeah, he's great as well. And 10 years at East Canton, it's crazy.
It's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. All right, our 11th year coaches at their particular schools: Nate Moore at Massillon, Brian Baum at Hoover. Again, who would have thought Massillon's proud tradition, proud history, coaches don't stay long, okay? For whatever, either it's they've decided to leave or they've been told it's time for them to leave. And Nate Moore has come in here from Cincinnati LaSalle. He's got a state championship. He's got, 5 or 6 state championship game berths, numerous regional championships, 9, 10-win regular seasons against incredible competition. They've gone to Oregon to play a high school football game. They're bringing in teams like Valdosta. They're playing teams from all over the country, and they just keep on winning. And yeah, they've had some stuff they've had to go through and get over, and adversity. But and this year, a lot of adversity on the staff. Lost a lot of guys going on to different schools. But somehow, some way, I got a feeling they're going to be around the 8, 9, 10 win mark, and they'll make a push in the playoffs. But can't say enough about the job he has done, because it ain't easy.
No,
it's not easy.
Going 1-10-25 in his 11 years. That's his record there at Massillon. And you mentioned the schedule, and they're going all over the place. Georgia, New York, Canada.
They're not going anywhere.
No, but I mean, they're getting people
right,
in. Yeah,
right.
From Georgia, New York, Canada, Missouri, Texas, and you don't get those teams to travel to come to you without having the reputation of being such a strong program. And that's what he has built there. He has built a strong program. And, Louisville called their basketball team the program.
Yeah.
If you're looking at football in Stark County and you can't look past the Massillon Tigers, Coach Moore has done a phenomenal job. And not just at the high school level, but preparing those kids to move on to collegiate level, because every year when you see players committing to colleges to continue playing at the next level, a whole bunch of them come out of Massillon, and he has them prepared and ready to make an immediate impact to wherever they go.
And then there's Brian Baum in Hoover, 11th year. It's just something about, there's something in the water in North Canton where you just don't change coaches. You had Don Hertler Sr., you had Ed Glass, you had Don Hertler Jr., and now you have Brian Baum. 4 coaches in, 60-some years? Maybe longer than that? That tells you a little something about stability, and they've done a great job with their facilities over there. They give their coaches great support, and they got some talented kids that walk through the halls too, but it all has to come together, and Brian's done a great job.
And he reminds me of that, like the teams he puts out on the field are that hard, tough nose, physical, run the football, having big running backs, big strong guys, but then all out of nowhere you get the little speedster on the edge. He'll pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock, and then all of a sudden the little speedy guy gets it around the edge and he's off to the races. The focus on defense and that defensive line that Hoover has become kind of notorious for having these big, strong, powerful defensive line and linebackers over at North Canton Hoover. When I hear Hoover now, I think of physical, hard nose. We're going to punch you in the mouth and see how you respond. Coach Baum's great. He's always fun to talk to, and he's done an amazing job with that program. And, tenure of 11 years, it's easy to see why he's still there.
No doubt. All right, we got 3 more coaches to go. 3 of the best in town. We'll tell you about them when we get back. We are broadcasting live from St. Harlobus Church. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. Sam Bourquin and Keller hanging out with you on a Wednesday. Stay with us.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
"Ugh, come on.
Seriously?
This is so extra."
But what you could say is,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Get someone who can actually help. Contact State Farm agent Rich Plack today.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
As I walked on the field for the Hall of Fame game, I was ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah, that did it for me.
Welcome back to Sam Bourquin Show. Keller with us today as well. We're broadcasting live from St. Harlobus Church. Good to be with you. Coach at Canton Central Catholic, my alma mater, Jeff Linda Smith. Got himself a state title. He's been in 3 state championship games, and the tradition continues on the West Side.
Yeah, they're another program too where you could always expect the big offensive line, power running the football, and you can't say enough about what he's done with Central. 12 years. Again, it's one of those things. These next 3 guys. There's a reason why they've had such longevity at the schools they're at. And Coach Lyndon Smith's great to talk to tonight as well.
Yeah.
So
and to follow a legend like Lowell Kleinfelder. I mean,
Yeah.
my gosh, what a job Trucker's done. All right, in his 13th year at Lake, talk about following a legend, following Jeff Durbin. Here comes Danny DeGeorge in his 13th year at Lake. They've had a couple of rough years. They've also had some very good years. They've had injuries where they have suffered just catastrophic injuries and have just kind of struggled to get out of the gate. But, man, the last couple of years, they took Massillon to the brink, regional championship up in Parma a couple of years ago. Danny's going to play good ball.
Yeah, he reminds me of the head coach, Dan Campbell. Just a guy that you would run through a wall for. If he would tell you to do anything, you'd be like, yes, sir, I'm going to do it. And it's easy to see, the players that they've had coming in there, talk about linebackers too. He's had some really good linebackers, big stud quarterbacks coming out of there. So Coach DeGeorge is always one. And Lake is one of those teams too where you never know, they get a sneaky good season, make it in the playoffs. They can make a big long run.
No doubt about it. And finally, before we get to the bottom of the hour, in his 17th year, with a couple of years off in between, but he stayed on as athletic director, Scott Garcia, 17th year head football coach at Glen Oak. And, man, 17 years, he still looks like he could go out and play. He would tell you otherwise, but Scott's a guy, tough, hard-nosed, old school. We're going to do it this way, and he has not changed one bit in all these years. He still brings the fire every Friday night.
Absolutely, he does. And this year, he took over the program where it was kind of on a downhill trajectory, and he's trying to get that thing to come back. And a big thing that can really help your program is bringing back 28 lettermen this season. So we'll see what Coach Garcia and the Golden Eagles can do this year. Having that experience, younger guys who get a chance to they've been through the rough patches, and a lot of seniors on this team this year, and you kind of want to go out better than what you left the program when you came in. So it'll be fun to watch Glen Oak as they continue to start that climb out of the ditch and back to the notoriety that they're known for.
28 lettermen, folks. Keep that stat in your hip pocket and watch Glen Oak maybe do some special things this year in high school football. All right, Sam Bourquin here, Keller there. We are broadcasting live from St. Barnabas Church, getting ready for later on tonight, the high school football preview 2025 here, and you are locked and loaded. AM 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll take a break and come back. Stay with us.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. 5 soldiers were shot on an Army base in Georgia today. Officials say Fort Stewart near Savannah was on lockdown for nearly an hour until they were able to arrest a suspect. 5 service members were taken to the hospital. More from ABC's Louis Martinez on where this shooting may have taken place.
I think there is a clue about exactly where this may have happened when you see that press release from the 3rd Infantry Division, which is they keep referring to the 2nd Brigade Combat Team Complex. That to me indicates that this was a headquarters facility associated with the unit. Typically, you were thinking about an office space. So workplace violence, of course, is not limited to the civilian world. We've seen previous instances where this has happened.
The conditions of the soldiers and the circumstances of the shooting weren't immediately clear. A U.S. official tells the Associated Press the gunman was an Army sergeant. The Associated Press is exploring the human toll of September 17th, 2024, when thousands of pagers distributed to the Hezbollah group blew up across Lebanon, remotely detonated by Israel. Nearly a year later, more than 3,000 wounded Lebanese are on a slow, painful path to recovery. While most were Hezbollah fighters or members of its civilian branches, including medical workers, some were curious children or other family members. Israel has disputed human rights assertions that the attack was indiscriminate. The AP spoke with 6 survivors of the attack. They are easily identifiable with missing eyes, faces laced with scars, and hands with missing fingers. Texas Democrat lawmakers who fled to Illinois to stop a redistricting vote say they are facing threats of violence. In a statement, they say an anonymous threat was made, but law enforcement took immediate action. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has more.
We're learning from local law enforcement that the hotel where this group of Texas House Democrats were staying, it was temporarily evacuated because of a bomb threat, but we are getting a statement from those Texas House Democrats saying that they are safe, sound, and quote, undeterred. Now, this does come as there's an effort to try and force that group of Democrats who fled the state to return back to Texas so that they can hold this vote on those new redrawn congressional maps.
3 new studies highlight the severe health effects of recent wildfires on Maui and in Los Angeles. Researchers found that the August 2023 Maui fire, one of the deadliest in a century, left 1 in 5 people with lung damage and half with symptoms of depression. The fire also nearly doubled suicide and overdose death rates. In Los Angeles, a study determined there were over 400 deaths linked to the fires due to healthcare disruptions and other factors. Experts say these findings emphasize the broader health risks of extreme climate events. The studies were published today in 2 American Medical Association journals. It's 82 degrees in Alliance at 432. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Clouds giving way to mostly sunny skies this afternoon with a high near 84 degrees, a light southeast wind. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low near 61. Sunshine on Thursday with a high of 84. Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 86. Saturday, more sun, a high near 88. That's your WDPN weather.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Tonight, we'll have a couple of hundred fans here. All the coaches will be here, Booster Club members, people from the administrative side of things, and getting you ready, whetting your appetite, tempting your palate for another great high school football season. Of course, we here at AM 1310 WDPN, and of course, our good friends at Q92 and Q92radiosports.com. We are excited to get her rolling, man, in 2025. What's today? The 6th?
Yeah.
And the first game is the 21st.
Yeah.
15 days until kickoff on Thursday night. There's a couple of games. And then Friday night, the big schedule, and we are off and running. And then once we get into September, the Mount Union Purple Raiders will take the field, and we'll have that for you. And then, well, our lives are over. We just work. But that's why we love it. That's what we love to do. And hop on board, get on the train with us. We got some great coverage planned for you, some great games, great broadcasting teams. We're going to have great elements during the broadcast that you can watch and interact with us online, all your social media platforms. And we're real excited to get this thing rolling here in about 2 weeks or so. Sam Bourquin here. Keller is to my right. We will be introducing you to a couple of other of our crew a little bit later on here in the program. The coaches should be starting to rumble in, hopefully in the early 5 o'clock hour. We'll grab as many as we can, get them on for a couple of minutes. So, how you doing? Keep it moving. And then we'll be out of here at 6, and then we'll head over into the big auditorium for the big program tonight for a little bit. And we'll be talking about this tomorrow on the show beginning at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Before we go any further, got to give a little shout out to our friends at DeHoff's Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping. We are all celebrating the Carnation City. The big Carnation Days Festival continues. And don't forget Saturday, the big Carnation Grand Parade, the big fireworks display at Silver Park on Saturday night. Tons of stuff going on. I brought the little pamphlet with me today so I could do some cross-checking and talk about some of the really cool things going on. Tomorrow, the used book sales going on at the Commons. Days in the Park at Silver Park tomorrow. The Youth Color Run tomorrow, Silver Park Tennis Courts. Shakespeare at the Castle, at the Glamorgan Castle. And, of course, a lot of great things going on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all the way into Sunday. But if you want to get your carnations for $11.95 for a dozen, go no further than DeHoff's Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping in Alliance. $11.95 for a dozen carnations. Check them out and tell them we sent you in. They will take great care of you. All right, Keller, we talked about all of our coaches.
Yeah.
So let's get into a little scrimmage talk.
Yeah,
okay.
There's a lot of them.
Things have changed over the years. There used to be 3 scrimmages. Then they went down to 2. Some teams now will do 3. I've seen a lot this year. It seems to me, and I could be wrong here, but they've gone away from a lot of the preview type stuff and under the lights. I see a lot of the second or third scrimmages are like 10 o'clock in the morning this year.
Yeah.
So maybe a little different philosophy by the coaches, but there's some good scrimmages coming up here the next couple of weeks, and we'll be out and about and getting some photos and some quick videos and things like that. But right away, I mean, I'm anxious for West Branch at Lake coming up. I'm going to go over and check that out before my show that day. And what else is on the docket over there?
Yeah, so things kick off this Friday. Scrimmaging. August 8th. Another one that popped out to me was Massillon and Avon. I think that's going to be a really good scrimmage. That one is at 11:30 at Avon on Friday. Cheney and Perry, Alliance and Dover. Minerva and Malvern, that should be a good one too. The Hornets and Malvern have put together a pretty good program over the last couple years as well. So yeah, things kicking off. Cleveland Heights at Glen Oak, and again, 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 11:15. There's only a couple of them that are under the lights. I personally, I loved using it as a preview for Friday night, kind of getting into the routine before week one. We didn't have our own stadium, so like taking the bus to where we would scrimmage and just going through the regular game day feel. A bunch of stuff on Saturday as well. This one's very interesting as well. It's in Brunswick. I'm probably not going to make my way to Brunswick at 10 a.m. on Saturday because I'll be at the Carnation Parade.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you there.
But McKinley, Garfield Heights, Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary at Brunswick. I think that one's really interesting as well. Louisville and Jackson. I think that's a good one for both those schools as well. 10 o'clock. Canton South and Central on Saturday at 10 a.m. All these are at 10 a.m. except for East Canton and Carrollton at United. What was the other one? Marlington at CVCA. CVCA's had a pretty good program the last couple of years over by our good friend Mike Voorhees. He knows CVCA. So yeah, those are all Friday and Saturday. And then Wednesday.
How about this little nugget on a 2 o'clock in the middle of the afternoon?
Yeah, Moeller at Massillon on Wednesday, August 13th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. That's going to be fun.
That's that's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Number one. And number two, I'm assuming if we're able to catch up with Coach Moore, I'll maybe ask him why. I'm sure it has to do with travel, with Moeller. Maybe they're coming up and maybe they're going to take him over to the Hall of Fame or something like that, early in the morning or after before they go back to Cincinnati. I'm sure they've got – I mean, to go 4 hours for a scrimmage, I'm sure there's something else, going on there just besides the – getting after it on the football field for a couple of hours. So that's interesting. And then you go down to
I think that's Massillon's only scrimmage that's listed.
They've got Avon.
Oh, that's right. I just mentioned it.
Yeah, they've got Avon.
Yeah.
So
but it might
that's a couple of good scrimmages there, you know what I mean?
And then Thursday, there's a lot of them on Thursday and Friday, none on Saturday, because then we're in week one.
You're week one.
We're in
week
game
one
week.
mode. Yeah.
Another notable one, Hoban at Jackson, 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. I think that's a good one. Alliance at Hoover. I think that's a good test for both of those two schools to see where they're at. And then Perry at St. Ignatius, I think, is another really intriguing scrimmage. That one is Thursday, August 14th at 6:30 p.m. And then we'll head to Friday. Glen Oak at Ursuline is another interesting one, and Boardman at Louisville. And then Green at New Philadelphia. New Philadelphia's got a good program, and Green continues to improve year in and year out. So it'll be interesting. They're not involved in the Stark County Coaches Banquet, but as part of the Federal League, the Green Bulldogs is another team that keep an eye on this year.
I'd like to get them here.
I would too.
I would like to
talked about it earlier.
I'd like to have Green here. I know
They should be invited.
barely over the Summit County line, but they're in the Federal League.
Yeah.
And they're down here 4 or 5 times a year at
Yeah.
least. Maybe we can get that going. Who knows? But I got to shout out my man Dougie in the PTO. Doug, I'm expecting box scores, stats, and analysis from you for all the Perry scrimmages. So get them ready, fella, and I'll be waiting for them, and we'll tell everybody what's going on with Perry as far as the scrimmages are concerned. I've got a couple. I'm going to try to hit. Can I borrow that real quick?
Yeah,
I'm just 18 pages deep over here. I'm going to try to hit the West Branch Lake Friday. Before I come in and get ready for the show, so we got a little something there. That's at 11:15. So that should be fun. Of course, we'll be covering a lot of West Branch this year. Then I'm going to try to hit up Niles at Marlington, and that is going to be on Thursday the 14th at 7:00. So I'll do my show, and then I'll head over to Marlington and see what the Dukes and you're familiar with the Red Dragons, aren't you?
Yeah,
Niles over there in your neck of the woods. So
yeah,
those are the couple I'm going to try to hit. Maybe a few more over the weekend. If I get a hall pass or so, but those are the two that I'll be going to for sure.
Yeah, it's great. And we used to do passing scrimmages where it was just helmets and shoulder pads and 7-on-7 stuff, and then we always scrimmage field every year. Mogador Field. That's where we would do our. Yeah. Every year we would rotate back and forth. So it's great to see these teams go out and have a chance, and it's your first look at going against someone who is wearing a different colored helmet and jersey than you are, and you kind of really get a true feel of what your team is when it's not just going up against the same guys weekend or day in and day out at practice. So it's a good test for these schools.
My buddy Tom from Salem checking in. Is Sammy, don't forget now, Steubenville at Warren Harding scrimmage.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
That would be a fun one.
Big Red, Harding, and Mollenkoff.
It's a great place.
Ooh, they used to get after it, man. The old All-American Conference.
Yeah.
They used to get after it. I mean, get after it. I'm talking people throwing rocks at the buses, taking the air out of tires, starting fires in the parking lot. It was insane.
Harding had a lot.
It was insane at both places.
They had a lot of rivalries like that. There were quite a few. I remember when they stopped playing Massillon for the longest time, and then that got fired back up again. Mario Manningham's breakout year for the Warren Harding Raiders, and I was at that game.
I was too.
That was something else.
I was too. That was
small world.
Yeah, it is.
I was a junior in high school, Sam.
Yeah, speak for yourself. You're 40 now, Bubba. I don't want to hear it. You and my basketball partner, Lee, I want to give a shout out to Lee Foster. He just turned 40.
Oh, happy birthday, Lee.
Over the weekend. And his wife threw a surprise party for him. And I could not get there. I felt so bad, but it was Saturday night early, and I was still over at the hall doing some stuff.
Yeah.
And that 4 a.m. wake-up call for the parade, I was useless by like 10 o'clock Saturday night, so I couldn't make it over. But shout out to Lee. Happy 40th birthday. And, man, you're 40.
Yeah, I am.
How's it feel?
Same as 39.
Yeah?
Yeah, nothing changes.
You lying to me?
No. I'm still my knees still hurt, my back still hurts. Takes forever to get out of bed. Yeah, no.
That's right. You will find out that Advil and Tylenol will be your best friend.
I went and hit some golf balls the other day, and hands hurt, back hurts, hamstrings hurt. So yeah, same as I felt when I was 39.
You're growing up, buddy. You're growing up, buddy. All right, we are live here at St. Barnabas Church. We are getting ready for the 2025 high school football preview. Coaches should be rolling in here, hopefully, in the next 15, 20, 25 minutes. So we talked about all of our coaches. We've given you the schedules coming up for the scrimmages, and trying to kind of whet your appetite a little bit as we get ready for another great season of high school football. Now, I do want to talk about this for a couple of minutes before we go to break. And it was a big story when it broke. We actually had Tim Street on the program to talk about it. When the OHSAA, the coaches, the decision makers said, "Hey, we want to peel this back a little bit. All right, no more 16 teams get invited, not getting invited, but going to the postseason. Now it's down to 12. Frankly, it should be lower than that, but it's at 12. We'll work with what we've got. What do you expect scheduling wise by the area teams moving forward? Because when you had 16, there was really no excuse for you not to schedule up to get your team ready for the playoffs. And if you lost a game or two, so be it. You were still going to make it in. Now that it's down to 12, will we see any changes, or it's still going to be status quo?
I think it's going to still be status quo, because it still comes down to the points. So you still need points. You still need your computer points to get into those top 12 spots. So I'm happy it's down to 12. I really liked 8.
8 was perfect.
Yeah, I really liked 8. But it's better than 16 when, because it's tough for the schools who are, that 16 seed in Division I, Region 1. You only had 17 schools.
Right.
So you were getting teams with, 0 wins or 1 win going up against, you think about Division I, Region 1, one of some of the biggest schools in the state.
And having to travel an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, and then you get your fanny whipped and get on the bus and come back home. I don't think that was a great experience for those teams, no matter what some will tell you.
No.
It's not a good experience.
I wouldn't have wanted my last game to be a running clock situation against, a potential, a powerhouse in Division I. So I think a lot of schools are going to keep it, at the same, because you still need to have quality opponents. And you still need to get those points in order to make that top 12. So I think most schools are going to continue to schedule. And I mean, you want to try to get yourself as prepared as you possibly could for the playoffs. When I played at JFK, we were Division 5, but we played a lot of Division 3 and Division 2 schools.
You did not have a conference, correct?
Correct.
Or were you?
No.
You guys were not in the league. Okay.
Correct. We were
same
not
with our school.
We were not in a conference. So we wanted to prepare ourselves so that when we finally did get a chance to play teams in our own division, or our own division in Division 5, that we might have been a little bit more prepared because of the caliber of team that we played throughout the season. So it's kind of a little give and take, because you don't want to schedule yourself to where you're going to lose a bunch of games and miss out on the points, but you want that good quality opponent so that when you do get the wins, that the team that you beat you're going to get more points because of the teams that they end up beating throughout the year as well.
What are your thoughts on the bye? I'm not a fan of the bye.
I don't like bye.
Week 1. I think it's split 50-50 that I talked to. I talked to a bunch of coaches the following day after the ruling. Half of them liked it. Half of them didn't like it. You're still making these schools play 16 weeks now.
Yeah.
It's a 6-week playoff. Too much.
I think if I have a team who might have suffered some injuries throughout the year, that bye could be beneficial for you.
Could be.
But I always,
and I see that point of it.
yeah,
I see that part of it.
I always wanted to play. I always felt like you lose a little bit of momentum and cohesiveness on your team when you don't continue to play every single week. So I want to, once the season starts, I'm a routine-driven kind of person. I would do the same thing every Friday before my game to stay in my routine, and having that week off on a Friday or a Saturday would kind of throw me for a loop. And because you get into that mindset that this is Friday, this is what I do every Friday, I wouldn't want to take it off. Just strap me up, let me play.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, it's 4:53. We're going to break here on the Sam Bourquin Show, again, broadcasting live from the beautiful St. Harmlebus Church. The Crassus Center tonight is the home of the high school football preview. They've got the dinner, social hour coming up here pretty soon. The coaches panel a little bit later on. We'll be on the air till 6. We got some coaches that'll be coming through here hopefully pretty soon, and we'll see what's going on in their world as we get ready for another big high school football season here in the Stark County. We'll take a break. More to come. Sam Bourquin Show. Keller with us today as well. 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Lainey Cross. I'm Carnation Queen contestant number 13, sponsored by Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery. Make plans now to join Alliance's Most Fit as we celebrate the Carnation Festival with the Carnation Trail Run. This event is scheduled for Sunday, August 10th at the Iron Horse Trail. Registration can be done at the First Christian Church at 5 p.m. and the race will begin at 7 p.m.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
All the 10 WDPN on radio, on our Facebook page, our X page, or Twitter, if you're old school like me. And you can do the Q92 radio page on YouTube as well. So make sure you're hanging with us here. Now, how do I break the news to our audience now? We're doing a little switch here. Once 6 o'clock rolls around, we're going to be done, but we're not going to be done.
Correct. You can still
walk everybody through that if you would.
At 6 o'clock, we will go off of air on terrestrial radio on 1310 on the AM. We are going to continue to stay live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. So correct. So if you're watching us on the stream, we will continue to stay live just at 6 o'clock. That last half hour will not be on AM 1310 WDPN. But so if you're interested, you can continue to watch on all our social media platforms where the live video stream is. So
all right. So that's on the stream beginning at 6. We will not be on terrestrial radio, but we will be on all of our social media platforms streaming up until 6:30. So you did a very nice job there.
Thank you.
I would have butchered that 15 times. All right. We are coming up on the top of the hour news and weather. Jeff Mears is going to get you all squared away with what's going on in your world here in just about 2 minutes. The Guardians beat the Mets today. So weep them. They beat them 3 in a row at Citi Field. Gavin Williams was on fire today. 8 in the third innings of no-hit baseball. It was broken up by a solo home run by Juan Soto in the bottom of the 9th inning. But the Guardians win. They sweep, and they're coming home to play the White Sox. And
Twins beat the Tigers.
And the Twins beat – oh, my God. So we are now 6 games out of first place.
Yeah. Yankees are winning. They're beating the Rangers 3-2, but whoever loses in that still helps us.
Still helps us out a little bit. All right. And, of course, the Browns will play the Carolina Panthers Friday night in Charlotte, and it will be Shedeur Sanders getting the start for Cleveland on Friday night. So just kind of getting you all caught up with what's going on. We're going to be talking heavy high school football with you until 6 o'clock on 1310 WDPN and until 6:30 on all of our live streams. So we are certainly looking forward to that. All right, we're going to take a break. Jeff Mears is coming up. All your news, all your weather. Keller and I will be back, so keep it right here. AM 1310 WDPN. And don't forget, you can watch and listen live on all of our social media platforms. We'll take a break and come back. Stay with us.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. The suspect in today's shooting at an Army base in Georgia has been identified as Cornelius Radford, a 28-year-old automated logistics sergeant. Authorities say he used a personal handgun, not a military weapon, in the shooting, which sent 5 other soldiers to the hospital. Those victims are in stable condition, the Army says. Brigadier General John Lubas at a press conference in the last hour.
I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
No word yet on a motive for Radford, though Lubas did say the incident played out at his place of work and involved his coworkers. Investigators are now working to determine how Radford was able to obtain a handgun and bring it onto the base, which has restrictions around personal weapons. Radford was also arrested earlier this year for driving under the influence. This is ABC News.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. This news a service of Bonfort Glass. The suspect in a deadly shooting in Canton faces a potential indictment. 25-year-old Deontay McCollum of Canton appeared today in Canton Municipal Court for a status conference. His case was bound over to the Stark County Grand Jury. On August 1st, McCollum allegedly shot 19-year-old Braylon Foster of Canton at a barber shop on Mahoning Road Northeast. McCollum's defense attorney says his client claims self-defense, but prosecutors say Foster did not pull a gun on him. McCollum's bond was continued at $1 million. The Alliance Board of Education approves pay raises for non-teaching employees. During a special session Tuesday, the board approved a letter of intent between the district and OPSI Local 265. The union represents about 150 bus drivers and aides, secretaries, maintenance, and custodial staff. Superintendent Rob Gress.
All of them will get a 3% base raise with this agreement, and happy to do that. They're hard workers, they're well-deserving, and I'm glad that we've been able to manage some funds to be able to do that.
He says the increase is for the upcoming school year. It's the third year of a 3-year contract, which included a clause that left open the possibility of a raise. The board also approved a measure withdrawing a related grievance appealed to arbitration. SARTA is launching a public engagement campaign as it looks to develop a 5-year transit plan. CEO Kurt Conrad says feedback on the plan to be implemented will improve service and the quality of life in the community. A field survey will be held from Thursday until September 5th, which will be available on the SARTA website, Facebook page, transit centers, and at the booth at the Stark County Fair. The Transit Authority will hold a breakfast meeting Thursday morning at its main office in Canton. The 7:30 session is open to the public by reservation and will be followed by a tour of the facility. A vacant at-large seat on North Canton City Council is being sought by 8 residents. Jeffrey Allen, Joshua Sauter, Holly Pierpont, Mark Inzetta, Gregory Sarbach, Jeffrey Stocker, Kaylee Paris, and Lindsay Rice applied for the seat vacated by Council President Matthew Stroya. He resigned to replace Stephen Wilder as mayor July 25th. Pierpont, Sauter, and Stocker have filed petitions with the Stark County Board of Elections to run for the full 2-year term for 3 at-large seats. At-large member Stephanie Warren replaced Stroya as president. At-large member Christina Wayrick has filed to seek election to the Ward 3 seat. Council has 30 days to appoint Stroya's successor. Andrew Pratt also filed a petition. Arts in Stark has awarded more than $600,000 in grants to support artists and organizations in Stark County. The nonprofit says the total includes $104,000 in arts impact grants. Among those receiving funding are the Canton Museum of Art and Military First Responders Center, Altman Hospital and Isabel Sonlen, Comquest Services, and the Workshops, Inc. Roughly $542,000 in arts build funding went to Bluecoats, Canton Ballet, and the Canton Museum of Art, among others. Norfolk Southern says cleanup resulting from the February 2023 train derailment in East Palestine is nearing completion. In a July 31st update, the company states site restoration is largely finished and remaining work is expected to wrap up in the coming weeks. Particulate matter monitoring continues in areas of active operations, but will be cut back as work is completed. Norfolk Southern completed mitigation in Sulphur Run. A final stream assessment is slated for the coming weeks to evaluate if they've met work goals. The company submitted data from a March and April stream assessment to the EPA. No human health risks related to the derailment were found in surface water in 2 assessments last year. The Salem Service Safety Director is under fire. No confidence votes were recently revealed against Joe Capizzello by the city's police union and the union representing city employees. The police union expressed no confidence in him, saying one shift was perpetually understaffed, creating overtime issues for the department. Secretary-Treasurer for AFSCME Local 2701, Tony Maniscalco, told council the director altered the union's contract, causing employee hours to be changed. Maniscalco said the move was illegal, as was the refusal to pay an employee who quit due to the change in hours. The Tuscarawas County Coroner's Office, Public Utilities Commission, and NTSB, along with the Sheriff's Office, are investigating the deaths of 2 people who were struck by a train. It happened Tuesday afternoon around 4:30 on a trestle crossing State Route 212 and the Tuscarawas River between Zoar and Tusky Valley High School. An employee of Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad called 911 to report the incident. The victims were pronounced dead at the scene by the coroner. They were later identified as 20-year-old Hannah Smith of Tuscarawas and 21-year-old Jacob Beerworth of Dover. Youngstown police say one person was injured after an incident on the city's south side. Officers responded to a report of gunfire at a home on Shirley Road around 12:20 this afternoon. It's not clear how the person was hurt. They were taken to a hospital. A man in police custody was also transported. 2 cell phones on a sidewalk were found by an officer. An investigation is underway. Youngstown fire officials say flames broke out at a West Myrtle Avenue home this morning around 8:20. Responding firefighters found heavy smoke coming from the residence. Crews also were called to a blaze at a home on Coatesville-Hubbard Road in Coatesville Township about 40 minutes later. Both fires were put out and there were no injuries. The cause is under investigation. A Trumbull County judge has denied a request for limited driving privileges for a man convicted of a fatal hit-skip crash. Common Pleas Judge Cynthia Rice issued her decision today in the case of 52-year-old Russell Lauer. In 2017, he was sentenced to 9 years in prison and given a lifetime suspension of his license after being found guilty of charges including aggravated vehicular homicide. 27-year-old Brittany Swetko was jogging along Ridge Road in Fowler Township when she was struck and killed by Lauer's vehicle in February 2016. He was granted early transitional release last year. Insight Health Systems plans to reopen its 2 hospitals in Trumbull County in the near future. CEO Jawad Shah met with county commissioners Tuesday to discuss the issue. According to WFMJ-TV, he said Insight is preparing to reopen Insight Hospital and Medical Center Trumbull in Warren and Hillside Rehabilitation in Howland in the coming weeks. A specific date was not provided. Both hospitals closed in March after their previous owner, Steward Healthcare, who filed for bankruptcy last year, stopped funding for services. Hundreds of employees were furloughed. A former Akron-Hoban high school teacher is charged with felony sex offenses. A warrant is out for 35-year-old Chad Kendall of Akron on 2 counts of sexual battery. He was arrested in June on a misdemeanor assault count stemming from a March 2024 incident in which he allegedly grabbed a student by the neck during rehearsal for a play. During the investigation, 2 students came forward detailing sexual relationships with him, which allegedly happened between the spring 2023 and fall 2024 semesters. The alleged victims said they were 16 and 17 at the time. After authorities searched Kendall's home and electronic devices, prosecutors authorized the sexual battery charges. Kendall was placed on administrative leave following his arrest. In sports, Gavin Williams came within 2 outs of Cleveland's first no-hitter in 44 years before Juan Soto homered with 1 out in the 9th inning, and the Guardians completed a 3-game sweep of the New York Mets with a 4-1 win today. Williams, who is 7-4, walked 3 and struck out 6, including Francisco Lindor to lead off the 9th, but Soto homered just beyond the grasp of center fielder Angel Martinez 2 pitches later. Guardians have not thrown a no-hitter since Len Barker twirled a perfect game on May 15, 1981. Their no-hitter drought is the longest in the majors. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 44,193, up 81 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 253 points higher at 21,169, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,345, up 46 points. It's 82 degrees and Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News, a service of Bonfort Glass. I'm Jeff Mears.
When man's best friend chases the family cat through the window screen, you need a rapid repair from Bonfort Glass. In warmer weather, accidents can happen. When a hole in your window or door screen is keeping you from enjoying the fresh air, take that torn screen to Bonfort's for a speedy, expert repair. You think of Bonfort's for glass repair, but don't forget, they can take care of just about any problem you may have with a window or door, including screens. If your screens are old, worn, corroded, or torn, bring them into Bonfort Glass and Alliance. Replace those shabby old screens with new aluminum or fiberglass ones that will wear better and last longer. Bonfort's experts give you the quality you can depend on and service that's unsurpassed. So even if your best pal chased the cat through the window screen, just take it to Bonfort's for a rapid repair. For all your glass and window needs, rely on Bonfort Glass, 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast for this afternoon calling for clouds giving way to sunshine with a high near 84 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, a low near 61. Thursday, sunny, a high near 84. Mostly sunny Friday, a high near 86. Still sunny Saturday, a high near 88. That's your WDPN weather.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score. And it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love. And if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, here we go. Get your helmets on, get your pads on. Let's go play a little football. Sam Bourquin Show back with you live on AM 1310 WDPN. Keller with me today for how long are we able to have you here?
I got about another 15 minutes.
Another 15 minutes,
Yeah.
he says? Okay. Duty calls. Duty
does.
calls. Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us. And, of course, Jake's been our on-site engineer. Thank goodness. And Michael V is going to be here chasing some coaches down for us here in a little bit. We're hoping they start coming through maybe 5:30. I just said Michael. Why did I do that? It rolled off the tongue. Michael V. I apologize. Mike Voorhees. I saw that look. I was like, uh-oh. Why did I do that?
I've called him Michael. Mike and I have been broadcast partners for 4 years, and I've called him Michael a couple times.
I do it all the time. Whenever any Mike that I know, I call them that.
Well, any John that I know, I call Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Because of the movie with Keanu Reeves. Why can't I think of it now? Oh, they're my favorite
idea.
movies. John Wick.
Oh, John Wick. Okay.
The guy who owns the hotel always calls him Jonathan.
That's
So
right. That's right.
I started calling all like my best friend's name's John. Every time I see him, I go, "Hello, Jonathan."
Hello. Now you're starting to remind me of Arthur in King of Queens. Hello, Douglas. And welcome into the show. We are broadcasting live from the St. Harlebus Church. The big preview program will be a little bit later on tonight. Social hour begins around 5:30. Dinner at 6:30. Then the coaches panel will take over, and we're loving it here. We're having a great time talking high school football, getting you ready for the 2025 season. A couple of housekeeping notes we want to get to. Gavin Williams today for the Guardians pitched an absolute gem. Well, how much of a gem? About 8 1/3 innings of one-hit baseball. He had a no-hitter until Soto hit a home run with an out in the bottom of the 9th inning. But good news, the Guardians beat the Mets 4-1. They get the sweep, and we are climbing up the standings bit by bit, game by game. And what Stephen Vogt has done with that baseball team has been nothing short of incredible, despite the lame bargain basement hunting ownership. They are in a position to, I could have said a lot worse, but I didn't. We are getting there to where you almost start to say, hey, I feel it. I feel it. They're going to come back and they're going to make another run. I feel it. And that's good after that 10-game losing streak. And it felt like the walls were crashing in, and here come the Guardians. So good for them, and a good win today. The White Sox will be in town this weekend, and we'll get you ready for that tomorrow on the show here, 1310 WDPN. Also, Browns in the Carolina Friday night. Shador will get the start. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff for Cleveland and Carolina. We are here to dive into, to talk about high school football. Again, some of the coaches should be coming in here in the next 20, 25 minutes or so, and we'll be talking with them. We've talked about schedules and scrimmages and some of the changes by the OHSAA, but when it's all said and done, about this time every year, you think, okay, who are going to be, because we run the gamut between divisions 1 and 7. We get somebody almost in every division. So I sit here and think, okay, who's got the chance to win the big one? Who's going to go all the way? Now, honestly, there are some years where I don't have anybody that I think, and I don't say that to slight anybody, but I say, okay, I look at maybe returning Letterman. I look at some of the schedules. I look at the teams and what regions they're in those divisions, and I say, oh, that might be a little much to ask for. And it seems like the last several years, it's all pointed to one team, and that's been Massillon, okay? This year, you look at the division breakdowns, you look at the regions, you also look at the fact that we've gone from 16 to 12, And the top teams are going to get that bye in the first round, giving them maybe a little bit of leverage as they move through the postseason. You know what? I don't know enough about the Tigers this year. And I'm not going to come on here and tell you a bunch of gibberish because we don't know what they're going to have. They made a lot of coaching staff changes. They've had to make a lot of changes on the defensive end of the football. The quarterback's going to be new. The running backs are going to be new. The tight end's going to be new. The line's going to be new. The schedule, I mean, we looked at their schedule, and again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know everything about this team from New York or everything about this team from Georgia or wherever. I do know they're going to play McKinley. I do know they're going to play Warren Harding, and I do know they're going to play Glen Oak. And I think I know what to expect there. But as far as a clear cut, okay, I think this team's got a shot to win a title. I don't know. And it may take 5, 6, 7 weeks for me to figure out, okay, these are the teams that got a shot. These are the teams that got a shot to make a deep run. So until then, I say, hey, let's let this thing play out. Let's enjoy the journey. Let's enjoy every scrimmage, every practice, every game, every minute, every quarter, everything, and just let it play out.
Yeah, with Massillon too, the good thing looking at their schedule, even they playing all these teams from other schools or from other states, they only have one away game, and that's
the last game of the year.
Week 10 at McKinley.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else is a home game for them. So that is always helpful, not having to do the travel. But as you mentioned, I think a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, quarterback is a question mark that has not been answered, and we probably won't know who their quarterback is until the first snap of the game.
Right.
I mean, people inside Massillon in the community will know, but or the program, but I don't know if anyone else, even Glenville, is going to have any idea who the starting quarterback is for the Massillon Tigers. So that's always a question mark. You look at returning letterman. We mentioned Green. Green's got 20 guys coming back. Lake's got 19 coming back, and then the 28 at Glen Oak. At Glen Oak. And that always helps. Jackson has 17. Hoover has 16. And that's the crazy thing about the Federal League and Stark County football is anybody on any year could put a team together to make a run.
Yep.
The only thing is if they release the top 25 in the state, a lot of Division II schools popping up on the Ohio top 25.
And we only had one in the top 25, and that was Massillon at 15.
Yeah,
I believe. No other Stark County schools were mentioned. Okay, does that mean something? Does it mean anything? It's rankings, they're polls, they're worth what they're written on. Okay, paper. But I mean, you got to have a little something to gauge, to go off of before you start the season. That's why you look at returning letterman. How many years the coach has been there? How many starters are coming back? If your quarterback is back, at the high school level, I when you have a returning quarterback, I think that is so valuable. And I think the coach would all agree. When you're trying to break a new guy in every other year or every year, it's tough. But when you can find that diamond, and maybe you can get him out there as a sophomore and then groom him and bring him along his sophomore year, his junior year, his senior year, that puts a big smile on a coach's face knowing that their signal caller is going to be out there, and you don't really have to coach him anymore. No. You just kind of guide him a
He's the
bit.
coach on the field.
Exactly.
He knows the offense. He knows the audibles and the checks and all that kind of stuff. Popping on that top 25 that the Max Preps had released for the state of Ohio. Moeller's number 1, but you got Hoban is Division 2. Avon, I believe, is Division 2.
Yes.
Olentangy Liberty, I believe, is the Division 2. Central Catholic in Toledo. Pickerton North, I believe, is Division 2. These and Winton Woods from Cincinnati. These are all schools that I know that Massillon has played throughout the playoffs in the last few years. Big Walnut, Walsh Jesuit, Upper Arlington. There's that Division 2. Pickerton Central. Division 2 is really loaded this year, so that'll be interesting to see. The only other school from like Northeast Ohio, even you've got Hoban at 2, Avon, Glenville, and Glenville's preseason ranked number 7 going up against Massillon. That's a heck of a game to start the season off in. That'll be our game of the week on Q92 92.5, kicking off week 1.
That's quite a way to start the season.
Right.
Glenville, Massillon at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. And again, on our FM side, we'll have that one covered for you. We're going to we got a great schedule for AM 1310 WDPN, also on Q92, 92.5 FM, and of course the Q92 radio, Q92.com, the stream, which will be 7 games.
Yeah.
Every Friday night.
Friday.
It's if you want football, this is the place to go. And like I mentioned before, we've added some elements as far as our stream. And if you're watching, which, by the way, I have no idea how any of that stuff works, but I do know it's going to look nice.
Yeah.
And you're going to be engaged, and you're going to want to follow and listen along. And welcome on board. I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Every game on social media, streaming live on YouTube. Certain games on Facebook, certain games on X, and then, of course, Q92radiosports.com. There's going to be multiple avenues for you to get it. And week 1, we're doing 9 games in 2 days.
Here he comes, the first one of the day. Big Sackaroo. Here he comes. Got the Minerva 3/4 on. He's ready to roll. All right. I'll tell you what, this is our first coach to come on. Come on through, my friend. Have a seat. Zach Slates has joined us tableside here, and I'll just let you know the hallway is very, very warm. So if you start sweating a little bit, I'm right with you there, brother. Getting ready for the 2025 high school football season, and there is Zach Slates, the new head football coach at Minerva. Gosh, it's really kind of weird because about 3 or 4 months ago, you and I were both walking the halls at Perry.
Yeah.
I was a
Watch with amazement as the nighttime sky becomes alive with color. Hi, everyone. My name is Lainey Cross, and I'm contestant.
Really, really smooth transition that way. They've made me feel at home there. And it's been really good so far.
So how has that transition been? I know you got a great support staff over there, great administration, and the fact that you're coming in there, you're going to bring, what Zach Slates is all about, tough physical football. You're going to coach them up. You're going to discipline them. You're going to be there with an arm around their shoulder when they need it. The transition when you first took the job up until now, did you get accomplished what you wanted to get accomplished in that time period?
Yeah, I mean, there's never enough time to do what you want, but I got in there as soon as I got the job. I was in the school. I was in there 4 days a week, and I was going there every day after school and getting in the weight room with the kids and building the relationships and rapport with them, and it's been a culture shock, but it's been transitioned into where we're at right now. So it's been a process, and you can't come in full bore and do things like you want to right away, and you got to build them up to that. And the kids have responded great. Numbers are up about 10 from last year.
Outstanding.
So, just working on building that, and having some success is going to help that. And that's the biggest thing. But the kids, we've gotten some seniors out that haven't been playing for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and they're going to be some contributors for us. So that's good. But yeah, they're buying into our program and our process and trusting what we're doing and believing in it, and they're buying in. So it's good.
Zach Slates, the new head football coach of Minerva, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. We're at St. H for the Big Star County High School football preview tonight. So I know you got a nice little staff put together too.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the guys that maybe followed you over, and you'll be looking for their their leadership? And hey, as coach, I got an idea here and there. Who'd you bring over? Who's on the staff?
Yeah, Tim Wolf came with me from Perry. We've coached together for 13 years, and he was actually one of my freshman coaches when I was at Perry playing, and that's a huge help. And having 2 guys know the system, know what we want to get accomplished, and things like that has been a tremendous help. When you come into a program, it's hard to get people to understand what you really want accomplished. And when you have somebody that's with you that knows, and he can preach it a different way for you too, it's really beneficial. And I couldn't ask for a better staff to be put together than I got this year. The guys are great. The former head coach, there's former coaches that were at Minerva and have taken some years off, and a couple guys that have been on the staff the past couple of years, and they want to see change, and they want to see development, and they want to see success. So it's good. And all those guys down there, they all went to Minerva, played at Minerva, so that they want it really bad. And the thing was, like, the biggest thing for me is this is a 2025 Minerva Lions, and we can't worry about what has happened over the last decade there. We have to worry about what's happened now. And
clean slate, pardon the pun.
Exactly. It's a clean slate. So moving forward, and that's the biggest thing I've preached. I don't care about what happened last year. I don't care about what happened yesterday. That doesn't mean anything. You can't do anything about that. So what we can do is worry about the now. And that's one of the biggest things I preach in practice is you can't do anything about 2 plays ago. I'm going to yell at you, and we're going to coach you up, and we're going to move on. But you can't continue to make the same mistake over and over and over again. So that finding that balance and finding that rapport with the kids to understand that it's been good.
Coach, what's a comfortable number as far as bodies would you like to have on the varsity team? You 35, 40, 45? What are you trying to get?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're going to struggle to find. We don't have very many freshmen right now, so it's building those younger age numbers up so we can have a freshman team and have them practice separately and have a coaching staff that coaches freshmen and develop them that way. And yeah, I mean, if we could have 40, 45 guys on the varsity team and have another 18 to 20 on the freshmen, I mean, that would be great. Those would be great numbers for us. So hopefully we'll get there. We had the 7th and 8th graders in there all spring working out and lifting. I haven't typically done that in the past, but just getting them to understand how important that is and how it's a process that you got to really go through and you got to love. And that's a big part of this game is being strong in the off-season work.
Well, we got about a minute before we have to go, but I do remember, I'm that age now. I remember back in the 80s when Leon Powell was running wild and Heinz Stadium was the toughest ticket in town. They went crazy for their Minerva Lions, and we're hoping you can get it back there sooner than later. We know you can, and I hope you get to reap all the rewards because it's a pretty special place when you get cooking. So we wish you all the best, and I appreciate you coming over.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There you go. Zach Slates, the new head football coach of the Minerva Lions here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We'll take a break. We got the news and weather coming up. Then we're going to talk a little Louisville Leopards football when we get back. Stay with us. Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget to watch and listen on all of our live streams, Facebook, on X, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Get ready for the big high school football preview tonight. We talked a little Minerva with Coach Zach Slates, and now we got Coach Kappas from the Louisville Leopards kind enough to join us here before we get cooking inside. Coach, thanks for coming over. How's your summer going?
It's going good. Going good. Got a little time to relax a little bit and catch my breath, but we're in the heat of it now. We're really enjoying ourselves. Our kids are having some fun.
So when you say the word relax, I'm not sure that I buy that because, well, coaches don't really know what that word means. So what have you been able to do since you guys put the equipment away at the end of last year?
Wow, we really geared it up. We got some hungry seniors right now. It's just a great group that's really attacked the off season. Some guys that just beaten down our doors in terms of watching film through the off season, doing extra stuff, getting the field opened up so they can go out and throw on their own. So it's been fun. We've had a great off season. Our strength coach Tyler Kwasnicka does a phenomenal job with our kids, and we've just it's going into year 3. So it's time to start seeing the fruits of the work that we've put in over the last couple of years with these guys, and we're really excited about this year.
So I usually like to wait to ask coaches until their second year, maybe their third year at the school. And I ask them about, do you feel that you have put your stamp on the program? Are you there yet?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
We took a big stride last year. We had a really good group of seniors last year that, got us going in the right direction. We had 6 losses last year. 4 of those were, down to 1-score games, and we were in a lot of those games. So, our kids are we've been playing, a lot of these seniors have been playing since they were sophomores on varsity. So we have a lot of experience coming back, but we have a very, very talented sophomore group coming in that is going to have to step up and fill some big roles. But, you would say, people talk about their culture,
right.
It's finally coming to where, I don't have to be out there directing things, right? The kids run everything that we ask them to do. They're doing the extra stuff. They love football. And that's what winning teams do.
Yeah, that's been a staple as far as I think in Louisville. The kids are always so coachable. They're always so receptive. Thank you, no thank you, please. I mean, very well. They're just good, solid kids. And if you can get them out there and get them to grunt and puff a little bit and get them angry, you can, some pretty special things can happen, can't they?
For sure. And we have great kids, and they come to work every single day, and we didn't quite have the edge that we needed the first year especially, and then last year it started to come to fruition, and then this year we got some kids that are really hungry.
So the schedule over the past couple of years has been made more difficult because you guys weren't in a league. Mm-hmm. And you had to get games. And I know you want to get them at home, and sometimes you got to get on the bus and you got to go. And you guys have played everybody, whether it's a private, a public school. You guys have played some teams. And, of course, you'll be going into the All-American Conference here soon. But I look at this year's schedule and I say, oh, okay, that's very challenging. Mm-hmm. But you wouldn't want it any other way, would you?
No doubt. And then, if you want to make a run in the playoffs, you got to win the games against playoff caliber teams. So, we have a challenging schedule. We added LaSalle there in week 9. So they're coming up to our place for a one year deal, but it's fun, and that's the beauty about high school football is you can't not show up on a Friday night, and just a lot of great teams with a lot of great coaches that have been there for a while. And it's challenging, and we've prepared our kids physically, mentally, and over the last couple of years, experience wise, to be able to handle that kind of schedule and give us a chance to have a, winning season and get in the playoffs.
As a high school football coach at Louisville with your enrollment, your division and everything like that, what's a comfortable, good number of bodies that you would like to have on the varsity year in, year out?
Well, right now we're about 53, 10 through 12, about 76 or so, 9 through 12, and which is kind of where we've been over the last couple of years. Going into this summer, we were at about 100, and we had a big drop off there of some kids just kind of dropping off, trying to see the mountain in front of them, what we ask our kids to do in the summer, and it's a lot, but for the schedule, you just talked about it, schedule we play, we have to be ready to go, and so when the winning comes back, I think we'll grow our numbers even more. But if we're around 80, I would 9 through 12. I would be happy with that. But the more we build this thing, I expect it to grow even higher than that.
Before we let you go, how much fun are you having as a head coach?
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, we like I said, we have great kids, and they come to work every single day. They're really hungry for football, and they're learning a lot. Like I said, we got young kids that are coming in trying to take older kids' spots, and it's just a lot of fun. It's the purest version of football, and it gets you so fired up just being a part of this past weekend with the Hall of Fame stuff and being in Stark County, man. It's there's nothing like it. So we're having a ton of fun, and we're really excited about this.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming
Appreciate
over.
you,
Thank you. Best of luck.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
see you week 2 against the Lions.
Sounds good. Thank you.
There he goes. The head coach of the Louisville Ubbers, Chris Kappas, and they're going to get him in, and they're going to have their big dinner a little bit later on tonight. And, of course, they'll have the big coaches panel coming up in front of a nice crowd here. So we're very thankful. And, hey, man, I love that the fact that the coaches come over here and spend a couple of minutes with us and talking some football and getting ready for the next season. We are coming up on 5:39, just about 5:40. Here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Hello, and thank all of you for watching and listening on all of our social media platforms today. And we are on X, WDPN on Facebook page, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Jake is working hard for us to our left. Mike Voorhees is tracking the coaches down. I want to thank Keller for coming by and spending a couple of hours with us today on the program. And we're going to talk, let's talk a little Northwest football. What do you say? Coach, you ready to come on over? I'm ready. Always ready for you, Coach DeMarco. He's got his Northwest red polo, the khaki shorts, and the coach's shoes. You look like you're ready to go. I got to put those headsets on you, my friend. There he goes. All right. Holy cow. How's your summer been going?
Good.
Good?
Good. Very
Getting
good.
in trouble or staying off the radar?
Unfortunately not.
You okay?
Unfortunately not. Everything's been pretty easy.
That's good. So what is it about this time of year that gets your juices going for football?
I don't know. Just all the excitement from the kids, getting everybody together. Beginning of the year, everybody has high expectations. They're excited to be there. Everybody's fighting hard for positions. Just a lot of enthusiasm.
We know what the transition was like, and you had to come in to the program, brought some guys in to coach on your staff, you get your philosophy, put your stamp on the program, all that. As you look back now at the first 6 years, how do you look back at that? What stands out to you?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was just the opportunity and all the people I got to meet over in the Northwest section of Stark County here. Not just the coaches, but I have some great coaches to work with. I've run into some great people, some great administrators. It just opened up a whole another section of community for me to be a part of, and very grateful for that. Of course, when I started, it was during COVID, because it was kind of strange.
Right. Forgot about that.
But things are, that seems like a distant memory now. Things are pretty much back to normal, and everything's flowing. And Stark County is one of the greatest places to be. And late July, early August, with the start of football and everything going on here.
Just going to say, Friday nights in Canal Fulton, they're turning out to be pretty special nights over at Dr. Martin Smilik Stadium. The crowds are great. The venue, all the renovations they've made. Obviously, you've had some very, very good football teams and some great kids, and I know you're very proud of that. How many more levels do you think you can take this program? I know you want to get to A, you want to get to B, you want to get to C. Where else would you like to go?
Oh, we have no idea. Every year is a new journey, and we approach that each year and what we want to do. And I don't think we look, in the rear view mirror much and see what's happened in the past, and just look forward to what we could be doing this year and how high we can go. We're a small community, and it's we got to battle the numbers problem that a lot of other people do. We're in a very tough region when you start looking at state playoffs. So we just kind of want to look at ourselves and take care of business and not look too far ahead, and just see how far we can
make ourselves as a football player, but more importantly, how far we could take ourselves as a person. And we're actually using football as a springboard for these kids in life, and what we can do to help propel them to be successful in life.
We were talking, my partner and I, when we opened the show today, and we talked about some of the tenures of the coaches at the schools that they're entering. And Scott Garcia, 17 years at Glen Oak, and Tim Goodman, 5 years at Alliance, 10 years for Spider at East Canton. And we talked about, you're not just a coach. You're a mentor. You're a father figure. You're a guy that needs the discipline. You're a guy that needs to be there, put your arm around the kid if something's going on. But you love that. That's why you get into it, right?
Exactly. That's why you get into it. Counselor for some of the guys, even father figures for a lot of these guys that don't have that opportunity. And then there's some other chores, equipment manager, custodial duties, cleaning up the locker room, cleaning up the restroom area where the guys are, whatever it might be to make things easier the following day. You just kind of put that hat on and you assume that responsibility.
Well, at least you have turf. You don't have to mow grass anymore.
I got that right.
We took that off your plate, so that's good.
No water, no painting, no cutting. Yeah, you go
none of that stuff.
You go out, it's lined and it's green and it's mowed every day, so that's always great.
Your schedule this year, not conference. Give us a quick peek at that and what you guys are in for before you step into league play.
Well, it's the same as it's been. We have we're going to open up with Norton, which is an adjoining district. It is in Summit County. I like to stay in Stark County as much as possible. We got Marlington week 2, and then we got Louisville week 3, and then we enter our conference play after that. We got an open date where CVCA left our conference, and
that's right.
Our athletic director Jason Hathaway, in his wisdom, thought it'd be a nice time to play Lake over at Lake at week 6 in the middle of our season.
Attaboy, Jay.
So yeah, we could thank him for that one.
Looking forward to that one. That should be fun though. And then you get into the league, and of course, everybody knows what everybody's doing. It's all about execution and maybe having a little bit of luck on that Friday night wherever you're playing. Before we let you go, skilled kids wise, QB, running back, receivers, tight end, how's that looking as we get ready for 25?
Well, we got to replace our quarterback. Quarterback had a really good year last year, but he graduated. And Chase Badger, and to make matters worse, he's coming in during practice and throwing against our scout team. So I got to watch him throw and not be able to use him.
Oh, boy.
We got two guys battling it out right now, Braden Venables and Ben Stepp at quarterback. We do return our leading receiver. We had a good group of receivers, but Logan Allman had 71 catches for close to 800 yards, 10 touchdowns last year. He was the Stark County champ in the high and low hurdles, so he's legit. He could play just about anywhere. So we got a few skill kids.
All right. Well, sounds good. I know you're going to be sound. You're going to be disciplined. You're going to be tough. We're looking forward to checking you out this season, Coach. Always good to see you, and best of luck to you, Northwest, this year.
Thanks, Sam. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
There he is, John DeMarco, outstanding coach of the Northwest Indians in his 6th year. They'll be making some noise. Don't you worry about that. They're going to make some noise this coming football season. All right, we are going to take a break a little earlier than normal. We got some coaches coming our way, so we'll step away. It's 5:47 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, live from St. Barnabas Church on AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us. We are back, 1310 WDPN. We're streaming live all over the world, and we are back here at St. Barnabas Church getting ready for the big high school football preview 2025. And we're going to talk a little Sandy Valley football. Coach Brian Gamble. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see
How's
you
your
too.
summer?
It's going well. It's going well for us. We, it's been quick. You know what I mean? It's just,
I know.
You hear all these teachers and everything. They're like, oh, you have a great summer. Well, I'll be here Monday, baby. You know what I mean? So
That's right.
it is what it is. But I tell you, it's been a very, very good summer for us. We've done a really good job in the off season, and these guys have worked really hard. I can't complain. So they're doing a really nice job for us.
Has it been 9 years?
It's been 9.
Honestly,
I know it's been. Well, what's crazy is that, like, when I was talking to my wife, I was just, I've been there for 18 years now. And I've been a head coach every year. So I've been a head baseball coach or football coach or both. So it's like, this is just what we do. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, this is year 9. Yeah.
That is unbelievable. I was looking at the list of the coaches here. We've been talking about it. Scott, his 17th year at Glen Oak.
Yep.
Trucker at Central, his 12th year.
Yeah.
Coach Danny's been at Lake now 13.
Yeah.
And it's like unbelievable. What you have done, though, at Sandy Valley, that's a hot little ticket on Friday nights now, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what? A lot has to do with great people around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've surrounded myself with some great people. That's huge. Our administration are phenomenal. And, our fans, they're passionate fans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something, when I first got down there 18 years ago, it was a little bit different.
Sure.
3 and 7 were high-fiving, you know what I mean? And all that
Not
stuff.
anymore.
Not anymore, baby. No, not anymore. So it's a different culture now, but it's cool to see the change. You know what I mean? See that go through. It is.
It's fun. And how satisfying is it for you to watch it grow right in front of your eyes every day?
Yeah, it is. And you see that process, man, of it. And, just like, every season you go, when we go to the preview, everything that we're like today, but every season, each team is a little bit different, you know what I mean? And so, just like this year, same thing. And, just going through and learning each other and navigating through it.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
All right, we got a couple and we'll let you fly. Your scrimmage schedule. I know coaches look for different things, different schedules, different philosophies. What's yours going into the scrimmage season?
For us, I want to see physicality. I think that's important. You know what I mean? When you go in through and, and execution, you know what I mean? Execution of what we've been practicing. We put all these hours, all these 2-a-days in and all this stuff in, all this install in, see us execute and see us physical and see us, get guys to the ground and run to the football and just a little bit of effort there. That's really what I want to see is just the physicality and kind of, get that, that notch off your belt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to speak. And, just to get that going. I think that's good for us. It's, just to get as much game like we possibly can and prep us for week 1.
And speaking of prepping, because obviously the postseason is where you want to be. You got that 10-a-week grind, and then you go.
Yep.
Obviously, some changes this year now. 12 teams will make it instead of 16.
Yep.
The really top teams are going to get that bye. Will it change philosophically at all how you guys schedule at Sandy Valley, or is just go out and hey, we'll play anywhere, anytime, as long as it makes almost perfect sense?
For us, it's all about matchups for us. You know what I mean? A pretty loss doesn't get you points. You know what I mean? That is one thing.
Right.
So, you could schedule up and which we try to do. But at the same time, we gotta also, figure out ways to get wins to get those points. You know what I mean? It's important, especially when now you shrink it down to 12. So for us, it's important for us for matchups, and it's important for us for the future. So like all those things come into play when you're choosing, because you're not just choosing, you're not picking. Hopefully, we're at a place where we're not just scheduling year to year. We're scheduling
Right.
down the line, a few years down the line. So you're picking out future picks, of what we're trying to gain, and where's our schedule at and all that stuff. So that's all important stuff when we decide on who we play and why we play it.
Very good.
Yep.
Coach, I appreciate your
Hey,
time.
thank
Go
you.
get some dinner. We'll see you on later tonight, okay?
I appreciate it. Go Cards.
Thank you. There he goes, the head coach, the 9th year of Sandy Valley, Brian Gamble, joining us here on AM 1310 WDPN. All right, how you doing? Keep it moving. We're going to bring in head coach Danny DeGeorge of the Lake Blue Streaks. We'll bring him over here. We'll get those headsets on him, and I know he'll be looking good on the camera there. Coach, it's good to see you. And, boy, that we get to this preview, and it's like, she's knocking on the door. High school football is right around the corner.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me, but
You
good
bet.
to see you guys as always. But yeah, this preview is always a great time of the year because we know we're real close to getting after it, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
time to have some fun for sure.
So, and I got this roster of coaches and how many years that they've been at that school, and I look down there and I see 13th year, and my goodness, only Scotty Garcia you're trailing as far as tenure.
Sure.
He's been at Glen Oak for 17, but man, it's been a fun ride, hasn't it?
Absolutely. No, it goes quick. Yeah, I still in my head think I'm one of the younger coaches in the room, but I'm not. And I'm glad Scott's still doing it because that means he's older than me,
Right.
which is a good thing. But no, I'm blessed to be at a great place with great assistant coaches and great kids and families. So definitely blessed.
So the Lake Blue Streak, it's rock'em, it's fundamental football, it's grind, it's do with what we have and do it to the best of our ability. Your kids are always really receptive, aren't they? What is it? How is it coaching at Lake High School with what you have to work with and the young men that you try to turn into older men and go on about their lives and do different things?
No, that's a great question. We say all the time it takes a village, and blessed to be in Lake where there's a bunch of great parents and great families. So we end up having great kids, man. They might not be the fastest or the biggest or the strongest, but they're very coachable. They're very tough. They want to get better. So it's a great place to be. And as I mentioned before, I have a great coaching staff as well, which is a huge piece of the puzzle as well. You got to have guys you can trust, and I definitely have that.
One more and we'll let you go. What are you most excited about with this group this year?
Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. I was telling some of the other coaches out there, we lost some really good football players last year.
Yep.
Charlie Christopher, Federal League and Stark County Player of the Year, man, one of the best players I've ever coached. I'm just excited about seeing these other kids step up and, make plays, right? And we're getting closer to that. It's a long process because we're a little bit young, but one of the greatest things about coaching is seeing kids get better and be coachable and learn from their mistakes and not make those same mistakes over again. And I think we have some kids like that, and I'm just looking forward to see who rises up and is quality leaders for us this year.
It'll be fun. It always is. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Love talking football. Have a great rest of the night. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
You got it. Danny DeGeorge, the head football coach at Lake, the Blue Streaks, entering his 13th season. And we are truly doing the Pat McAfee today. How you doing? Keep it moving. That's exactly what we're doing today as we got the coaches coming in and we got them coming out. And there's Coach Hendu from St. Tom. He'll be joining us here in a little bit. How we doing, my man? Good to see you. All right, Coach Sarbaugh, AJ. Let me check the paper just real quick. Oh, yes, your 8th year at Farrell's. Time's flying, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Hard to believe.
Ooh, you having fun? You look like you're having fun.
Absolutely.
Any more additions to the family?
No, we're good. 3. Yep, CC 7.
Holy
Connor's
smokes.
3, and Collins will be 2 in a month, which is hard to believe.
Unbelievable.
September 14th.
You built a pretty special thing at Fairless. And sometimes when coaches come into situations, maybe even in the back of their mind, they're like, oh, boy, you have done tremendous things for the football program, the school, the community. I was talking to Zach, how things used to be at Minerva decades ago, what a ticket it was. Sandy Valley, great place to be on a Friday night. Coach DeMarco, Martin Smilik Stadium, a nice place to be on a Friday night. Fairless it's a hot ticket, man. It's the place to be on Fridays now. And you have a lot to do with that.
It's become an event. I think that's something that Coach Hertler talked about at Hoover, and the band's involved, the cheerleaders are involved, the students want to go to the game, the whole community's there among the 4 villages. And obviously, if we're fortunate enough to win that Ring of Fire, everyone wants to stay and be a part of it. But like you said, it hasn't always been that way. And I think the last 5 or 6 years, Friday nights have been special, and it's an event, and everyone in town wants to be there. And that's what high school football is all about.
Oh, yeah. And there's something pure about it at a place like Fairless. It's the small town. It's the Friday night. There's just something about it. People kind of like they're gravitated toward that. The kids, the students, the cheerleaders, the guys and girls on the other sports teams, they come out. They want to be a part of it. And it's really, really cool what you've built. And I would ask, how did you do it? But you had a plan going in, didn't you? You had a plan. Talk about the execution of that plan, if you could.
I think I've been really fortunate. Our admin's been outstanding. Obviously, Zach Michael's there now doing a great job, but we had Nate Held, who was head coach in the county. We had a really good principal and Larry Chambliss, who was very supportive of football, and Chad Merritt's the same way. He played, and our superintendents, Brock Bedlack and Mike Hearn, have been top-notch. But our booster clubs have been really good. I think I was telling someone the other day, in the last 7 years, we've only had one coaching change, and that was because
that says a lot.
Colton Colucci and Carson Colucci's dad stepped away to go watch them play college. Like, if he could still coach, he probably would,
Sure.
and we'd have none. But a staff stayed the same. The kids have bought in, the parents. So there's a lot of pieces that go into it. And I think I had a vision going in, playing for Coach Hurtler and being around people like Randy Montgomery and Jerry Goodpasture and Larry Karras, but you never really know how it's going to go. But like you said, Friday nights have become special, and that's really important to me, and I'm glad we've given the Fairless community something to be proud of.
No doubt. AJ Sarbar is our guest head coach of Fairless here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. I got about a minute. I wish we had some more time because we could talk for hours, believe me. Okay, what are you most excited about with this group this year? What do you see?
They're a fun group to be around. Like, it's fun going to practice. Not last year was hard. We played a lot of young kids. I told people, like, we started 5 sophomores and 2 freshmen, and the old adage is for every sophomore you start, that's a loss. So our kids played hard. They were trying their best. It was just men against boys, literally, and the league was really good. So we have a lot of kids back. I'm excited to see their next step, and we have a challenge. We open up with Sandy Valley, and then we have 5 on the road. So we're literally home August 21st and not home again until October 3rd. So I'm excited to see where our leadership and a year older of experience takes us and what this group of kids is able to do this year.
All right, my man. We'll catch up. We'll see you inside.
Always
Thanks
good
for
to
coming
see you,
over.
Sammy.
There you go. Our AJ Sarbaugh doing a great job at Fairless, and he's built something special down there. There's no question about that. Okay, it is 6:02 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. What we're going to do, I'm going to say goodbye to our audience on 1310 WDPN. So thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow at 3, so check us out. Going to stay rolling here on the stream on 1310 Facebook and X, and of course the Q92 radio page on YouTube. There will be a quiz later. Let's talk a little Canton South football now. Matt Dennison, his 5th year with the Wildcats. Coach, thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having us.
How are you?
We're doing well. I'm doing really good.
Here we are, a couple of weeks away from putting the ball in the tee. Summer is going away. The sunsets after 9 o'clock are gone. What still gets the juices pumping this time of year for you?
This is year 25 as a head coach,
Holy
32 in
smokes.
coaching, and so it's just something. It's kind of ingrained in me. I don't know what I'd do. I've been, I came from a coaching family, and everybody in my family coaches, and I was going to 2-a-days when I was 7 years old. So it's something that I just think is part of when it's August, you go to football. And
what the heck would you be doing?
Yes, I don't think my wife would know what to do if I was home around the end of the summer.
Canton South football. If we didn't know each other and I didn't know anything about anything, and I said we met each other on the street, I said, hey, tell me about this Canton South football program. What would you tell me?
Well, I tell you that we're developing. We've really developed over the last 5 years, and I think we turned a corner as a program. It's just not a team year-to-year team deal, and I think that's what it's been for a long, long time at Canton South. And when I took the job 5 years ago, that's kind of what I like to do is build programs. So we came in here and we started building. We've had some really good success. Last year we played very young. We have 9 starters offensively back, 8 starters defensively back. So we played a lot of sophomores last year, a lot of juniors that were a year away. And what I tell you is, we're making strides as a program. This is the first year I feel like we've had a program. I think this is the first year the weight room kind of stuck, and you're going to see a lot of differences in the way we play because we're a lot stronger. We're a lot more physical than we've been in the past, and that's one thing that we wanted to change in the culture of Canton South was we want to be known as a physical team, and that wasn't always the case. I don't think at Canton South. So that's one thing that I think that we're going to bring to the table this year. I think defensively, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be, we're going to run around and hit people. And offensively, I think we're going to be dynamic like we have. Even last year when we had a lot of youth and we were in every game, and our kids still made plays.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to definitely see that.
Coach, thank you for coming by. We appreciate it. We'll see you during the regular season. Stay healthy. Have a great year.
Thank you.
There you go. Matt Dennison, head football coach at Canton South, talking a little Wildcat football. We'll keep the train moving. Let's talk. No, come on over here, Coach. Coach Kevin Henderson of St. Thomas Aquinas has joined us here on 1310 WDPN. I'm going to have you slap those headsets on over there. my man, and we can converse and talk a little STA football here on this Wednesday night from St. Harlan's Church. Coach, good to see you.
Good to see
How
you,
are you?
Sam.
Good.
I'm doing great. Yes.
All right. So you've been at this for a while. You know,
been a while.
Head coach, assistant, coaching, college, whatever you name it, you've done it. What gets the juices churning for you in August every year?
Just the opportunity, man. I just appreciate the opportunity and the God-given health and capability to be able to do this. And again, to help try to reach and teach kids, I'm all in. So
that's the special part about it. You know, wins, yeah, they're important. You know, fun Friday nights are important. Banners, plaques, trophies, they're all important. But there's other stuff too. And it comes with putting your arm around a kid saying, hey, I got you. There's something to be said about giving a kid a ride home from practice. You know, maybe getting them a little burger and fries on the way home from school. Be there as a mentor, a father figure, a teacher, whatever you need to be. I think that's what draws everybody in, doesn't it?
yes. And they, some of the kids count on that. People don't realize that so many of our kids in society have been or are traumatized in some way, and they're just looking for someone to put an arm around them and, you know, just say a kind word to them and love them up, I guess.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all it takes, because sometimes, Coach, the light goes on, and then they have a breakout season, and then it's, oh, I can do this.
Yes.
I can really do this, and pretty soon they're playing on Saturday afternoons or maybe even Sundays. And you had a good part in that then, so that's got to make you feel good.
Well, I always say, tell kids, God did his part. He gave you the talent and ability. What are you going to do for yourself? So I just encourage them along.
All right, before we let you roll and have a little dinner inside, St. Tom 2025, just expectations, your vision, what are you looking for?
I am just trying to see what our identity is going to be on both sides of the ball, as well as special teams. We've got a couple key leaders in place, and but we've got a hodgepodge of kids playing positions that are new to them, but they've practiced hard and they are very into it. So we'll see how it comes along. And the other thing that we've been able to do is get the schedule more conducive to our talent level as well. We got some of the perennial playoff teams off the schedule, and we're just looking for the opportunity to challenge some of the teams that we're going to face.
I remember listening last year inside during the program, and you had a really funny line. You were telling people in the building, the other administrators, the people that were answering the phone, if anybody calls with a certain record, just hang up on them. We're not interested. We're not interested in that. So before we let you go, I know numbers have been a struggle for you. How many are we working with this year, maybe?
Right now, we're at 24.
Okay.
And I'm anticipating that we'll go up to 30, but that'll fluctuate. You know, kids come and go, and there are a multitude of reasons why they come in and out of programs. But we're there for them, and we embrace them with open arms. So,
all right,
we'll
man.
see what happens.
Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Kevin Henderson of St. Thomas. We will see you during the regular season.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Sam.
There he goes. All right. Been at it for a long time. Coach Henderson did it for a long time, and he's going to keep doing his thing. All right, here we go. The star of the show from the 330, Scott Garcia from the Glen Oak Golden Eagles here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 17th year.
Long time.
Woo! I was telling one of my colleagues today, I said, you know what? If we could get a uniform, you go out and play.
Oh, yeah. I still
You
try
could.
a little bit every now and then.
You could.
Couple
I'm
plays.
telling you.
Couple plays. That's it.
Hey, we got plenty of Gatorade. You're fine. Or whatever you need. We
Be
got
like
plenty of it.
first and second down run stop guy, then that's it.
That's it. Get him off the field. All right. So here we are, early August. You've been doing this for a long time. I know you love it. I know you love to get after it. You're old school, hardcore football coach. What keeps the blood pumping?
You know what? Just the if kids keep progressing and they buy into what you're teaching them, then you know that's really what it's all about.
Yep.
You know, to get them on the right track for their life, and that's the most important thing. To just to kind of guide them along the way. And there's a lot of kids that need help now, and it's kind of football's the last thing that holds people accountable.
Because of what was the old thing? Football teaches you the most about life.
No doubt.
That's so true, isn't it?
No, it sure is. It sure is. All we do in this society is keep lowering standards for everything. And in the game of football, you can't cheat it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a great line. So with all of your experience and all the players that you've worked with and the stories that you've had and the successes that you had, is there one or two that really stand out to you over your career as maybe a young man that maybe turned the corner under you and you got to watch him blossom into something special? Or maybe it was a guy that really you thought, I don't know, young fella, I don't think you're even going to be able to. And then somehow, some way, the bulb comes on and they have a great career for you. Is there a couple of stories, a couple of guys that stand out?
Yeah, there's always, God, there's so many of them that, I don't know if I can name everybody by name.
Sure.
But there's so many kids that you see that are, that kid that comes in as a freshman lineman that's 5'6" and he's,
can't lift the bar,
he's 180 pounds, and all of a sudden he grows and he's a tough lineman by the time he's a senior for you.
Yeah.
And there's so many examples of that it's be too many to mention. But yeah, that's really cool to see those things happen.
Is that almost as fun as the win-loss thing? Is to watch something grow that you helped move along?
Yeah, no question. Oh yeah, yeah. And then to see guys come back and see guys come back successful and having families and going on to some to be doctors or a dentist or a truck driver, whatever it may be, just to see them be successful.
Before we let you go, I smell dinner in there. So non-conference, what are we looking at, Coach?
So we open up with Dover at home.
Okay.
And we go over to Massillon. We're playing in a Hall of Fame Classic.
Oh, that's right. East Tech,
Cleveland East
right
Tech.
over at Benson, right?
Right.
Okay.
So that'll be a cool thing. It's a Saturday afternoon game, so a little college feel to it. And then Mansfield comes to us week 9, I believe.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And then the Fed waiting
That's
on
it.
you.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
just a grind all the way through.
Never stops. Coach, thanks for coming
All
over.
right,
I
always a
appreciate
pleasure.
everything you do. Thank
Thanks.
you.
All right.
Coach Scott Garcia, the Glen Oak Golden Eagles, heading into the big room off to our right, and always good to catch up with Scott and see what's going on with Glen Oak and their football program. 28 Letterman, I think, back this year. That's pretty good. All right, from the Golden Eagles to the Dukes. Here we go. Coach has joined us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Joe Cardinal got his Dukes coaching jacket, the khakis, and the black coach's shoes, and we're ready to roll here on this Wednesday night. Coach, how you doing this afternoon?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. What excites you most about this upcoming season with Marlington football? What are you looking at?
I mean, it's just a new group. We're really young this year. We have 50 guys on the roster, and 35 of them are freshmen or sophomores. So it's exciting though, to see these guys grow and develop, especially over the summer and kind of see, where everybody is compared to they were last year. And then, trying to get these new guys acclimated. It's actually a lot of fun.
So what's a good comfortable number for you? You said you've got 50.
Mm-hmm.
You always like to have more, but what's a good workable number for you with Marlington?
50.
50?
50.
Okay.
Yeah. The guys that we have, all 50 can go. It's nice. It's nice to have a practice where let's say the sixth kid is just as good as the first as far as technique and coaching, and you don't really have to slow anything down. So no, 50 is fine. You would like to have more, but sometimes having more, it just turns into a body, and sometimes that can slow practice down. So our practices right now have been really competitive, really fast. So it's been enjoyable.
That was my next question. We've seen a lot of changes in the NFL as far as practicing over the decades, with 2-a-days going away. You can only have contact so many days a week. College has kind of taken that a little bit too. But for high school, what's the philosophy? What's the approach for Marlington as far as getting ready for that first scrimmage? How do you guys go about your practice, your times, your drills? What's that all about?
Yeah, to me, you need to script everything you're doing. Script your offensive, your defensive team, your skelly, which is 7-on-7, inside run. So, we always know what we got going on. Everything we do are in 5-minute increments. We have a student that kind of runs around our practice and keeps coaches on time. As far as when we're going, it's full speed, 100%. The thing we always say is, take care of your teammates, but we need to practice fast so we can play fast. So that's kind of what we look at, but it really is. It's you can't have a good functional practice unless you map it out beforehand.
Right. Organization is key. I know you know that. Well, I'll tell you what, we're looking forward. We're going to be seeing you for a week 1, I believe, Orangeville Heights.
All right.
We'll be there for your kickoff. Actually, going to come over and check out your Nile scrimmage coming up here a little bit. So we'll get in touch with the Dukes, and we wish you all the best. And good to meet you in person finally.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
We'll be catching up with you down the road.
Hey, thank you so much.
Appreciate you. There you go. Joe Cardinal, head coach of the Marlington Dukes here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. All right, the coaches are coming in fast and furious. Now we're going to go from the Dukes to the Aviators here. The black and orange to the to the powder blue and red, and we'll bring in. Man alive, I got this list here in front of me that tells me all the coaches, where they're at, and how many years that they've been there. And I can't believe Scott's been at Glen Oak for 17. I can't believe Danny DeGeorge has been there for 13. Fifth year for you in Alliance.
Yep.
How's it feel?
Yeah, it goes quick. That's what we were just talking about over there. Scott and Brian and I just in there like how fast it's gone. It seems like I was just coaching with Brian yesterday, and Scott's like, man, I can't believe it's already 20 years, and half a decade for me already. It's like you blink your eye, and these years go by quick.
I know. I feel like we just saw each other during the high school basketball tournaments you guys were hosting, and here we are getting ready for football now. 2025 Alliance Aviators. In a nutshell, what do we got?
Yeah, we got an experienced team coming back. We were really young last year. Took our lumps, played a tougher schedule, but we peaked at the right time. We got better as the year went on. The kids stayed resilient, kept practicing hard, and it showed you that our last 2 games we played really good football, had some pretty decisive victories. So hopefully that momentum carries us over into this year, and we can kind of pick up where we left off.
We talk about momentum at all levels in all sports, and sometimes you say it has to carry over. And some now that was last year. We're starting over. What's your philosophy on that? Is there a true carryover? And if there isn't, how do you get there to be?
Yeah, I think for us this year there is. I think it depends on the year, to be honest. I think for us this year, I think there is, because we got 9 back on offense and 8 back on defense. So you're kind of the same guys that you're coaching last year. You're not replacing too many, so you're just trying to build off of what they experienced last year. So I think this year for us, the momentum is there.
All right, we all know about special someone over there. J is how you start it, and Jackson is how you finish it. I loved watching him play hoops. I cannot wait to watch him play football. How special is this young man?
Yeah, he's a great athlete, great kid from a great family. You can't say enough good words about him. He's just one of those kids that excels in everything he does. He's a good football player, good basketball player. If he played baseball, he'd be a good baseball player.
Right.
He's just one of those kids that, rises the level of the occasion in anything he does. So we're excited that he's leading us on offense at the quarterback position. I think he's one of the best defensive backs in the county. So we're definitely going to lean on his experience as a 3-year starter.
We are looking forward to doing a lot of your ball games this year. Best of luck getting the guys ready, and we'll see you when you put the ball on the tee here in a couple of weeks.
Appreciate you.
Coach Goodman, thank you for coming over. There you go, little Alliance football here on the show. We've got, let's see, Coach Brian Baum is going to come over. Then we got Coach Rohr. Then we got Coach Parnell, and we'll wrap this baby up as they've been coming fast and furious here on 1310 WDPN and, of course, Q92radiosports.com. Coach Brian Baum of the Hoover Vikings ready to go and settle in your 11th year with the Hoover Vikings. How does that sound and how does it feel?
I was just talking out there. It's a little gray in the beard, so that's how it's going right now.
A little bit.
No, I tell you what, I'm real proud of what we've accomplished there in 11 years and the growth I've seen and things like that. So I'm happy with what we're doing, and the staff we have is the great guys to be around. It's fun to get there. We get there early, we talk, get everything worked out, and then then come in there and you got still 75 to 80 guys out there 10 through 12 because they want to be a Hoover Viking. It's a great experience right now. It's a great place to be.
When you came to town 11 years ago. And we were talking earlier on the show, Hoover's had 4 coaches, I think, in the last 95 years with Coach Hertler Sr., Coach Glass, Donnie Jr., and now yourself. What a special place that is. And for those that maybe have just turned the radio on or they're watching for the first time, and they would say, hey, explain North Canton Hoover football. What's it like to be a Viking? What would you tell them?
It's hard work and dedication. I mean, it's true lifestyle. We're not going to out-athlete anybody. I don't think we ever have. We go out there, we work, we play as a team, we play physical brand of football, and our kids are proud of that. And when you go out there, you play Hoover, win or lose, you've been in the football game because our kids are going to hit. You go out there, you look at them like, these guys are the ones hitting us? No, these guys get after you because they're proud. Their dads that played there, a lot of them, some of their grandpas that played there, and it means a lot to put that Viking uniform on there and go out there for North Canton.
It's very special on a Friday night, isn't it?
Yes.
Stadium.
Yes, it is. Really, we were talking to a young guy, a transfer coming over. I was talking to him about Friday nights. It's like, I know you played football before. I know you had a good experience, but this place is different. If you score a touchdown, you make a play, this place erupts. You're going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's right.
And I had, right now, you're talking about, I get the goosebumps. Like, this is awesome. And my family and I love being in North Canton. Our staff loves coaching for the Vikings, and it's a great opportunity. And I take that very serious. Going back, Hertler Jr., Ed Glass, Hertler Sr. I mean, there's a lot of experience there with those guys and longevity, but they set this, that foundation out there, and I'm real proud to be a part of that and extend on with that.
Coach, one more before we let you grab some dinner. Schedule-wise, we know what the Fed brings. What are we looking at in our conference?
We start with Bookdale. They're going to bring
always a tough opener,
man.
right?
It is, and it's a good challenge early on. They got us last year, and we took it to heart, and we grew from that. So right away we got to be ready. But they got a running back; it's unbelievable. Skill positions are really solid. Week 2, Medina. I mean, they're 5 wide. They're hucking, chucking it all over the field. That's a challenge for our secondary and our defense. And they're physical as well on defense. Week 3, Akron North. And then, we get into the Fed. But week 5 is Louisville, another rival there. So we consider them the Fed team for us. But, you just get into that and you hit the rest of the Fed and that meat grinder get going. So, we've got to get out there and start fast and play fast. And, we're trying to do some things on offense to be a little more fun this year.
All right, looking forward to it, Coach. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks,
Enjoy
man.
your dinner. We'll see you around, okay?
Thanks for having me.
There you go. Coach Brian Baum of the Hoover Vikings here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. And we go from the Vikings to the Polar Bears. My guy, Jay Rohr, getting ready to sit down here on the show and talk a little high school football on this little warm, little humid Wednesday. Coach Rohr, how's your summer going?
It's going exceptionally well. So certainly proud of the kids, proud of the coaches. Hasn't been too hot too often when we've been out there. So overall, it's been a really good summer.
So we've done enough of your games over the years when you came in, and I could comfortably sit here and even look you in the eye and say, you have put your stamp on this program, and it's going to be nothing but better now moving forward. Would that be a fair statement? And how good does it make you feel to watch the progress right in front of you happen day by day?
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from the guys, the predecessors from before. Obviously, Tim Budd and the guys, again, those even before him, what they've done and what they accomplished here. But and the same thing with the previous players. But certainly, try to come in and you try to do things. You take things from those guys that you've been around, but you certainly try to put your own stamp on things. And without question, I think I think our kids are buying in and have bought into the culture. And certainly the coaches preach exactly what I'm preaching. So it's kind of that ripple effect all the way down through that's going really well.
And it looks like it with the youth program, the numbers. I don't know what you stand at now with 10 through 12, but you got to be in the 70s, 80s. And I mean, that seems to be climbing every year too.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And something, I'll mention inside there. I mean, we're at, a little more than 400 kids in our youth program. And 8 through 12, we're sitting at about 183 kids. 80 of those guys being on our varsity roster right now. So numbers are great, and whether that's always a good thing or a bad thing,
yeah, sure.
You never know. But again, certainly proud of the kids that we have out, because football is not an easy sport to play, as you guys know, and you got to have tough kids and tough coaches to do it. And pleased with the guys we got.
Real quick, we got about a minute. Give me 30 seconds on the offensive side and the defensive side. We'll let you go eat.
Yeah, no, obviously, a lot of things start with a 4-year starter at Lucas Eckerman. Yep. He's a tremendous quarterback. Again, my opinion is probably going to be one of the best in the county. And we got tremendous athletes on the outside. The question mark is our offensive line. We bring back only one starter on the offensive line. So that's our biggest question mark. But again, looking forward to the guys. Those guys are looking forward to the challenge. Defensively, we bring back really only 2 guys on the defensive side, and Reese Myers and Max Cowles, who's a 2-way player for us. Again, another big name that is going to do big things for us on both sides of the ball. But we have an uphill battle. But again, I don't believe in a rebuild. That's our job last season, is to get guys ready for this season. We have a lot of guys chomping at the bit and are excited for their opportunity and looking forward to hopefully them taking advantage of it.
Coach Jay, appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks so
Thank you
much
for coming over. Jay Rohr, head coach of the Jackson Polar Bears, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, as we're getting ready to keep the coaches rolling. You want to go? Okay, coach is going to go over there, and then he's going to come back here. Coach Renzi Parnell of the Camp McKinley Bulldogs, first time we have met, so it's a pleasure to meet you, my man. We'll get those headphones on you. And coming down from Archbishop Hoban, I know Drew Sackerman real well. I've known Tim Terrell for a long, long time. And, man, it's good to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. First of all, congratulations on the gig. I know it's been a little bit of a while, but how's the transition been for you now, a member of the Pups now?
Awesome.
What do you say?
Awesome. It's been great. It's cool being a head coach and thinking nothing but ball. And the kids have been great. Everybody has accepted me well. Obviously, I'm in the honeymoon stage right now, so everything is cool, right? Yeah.
The honeymoons don't last long. I know that.
Exactly.
So coming down from Hoban, what are you going to bring here? Your philosophy, the way you coach, the way you mentor, the way you teach. What can we all look for out of Coach Parnell?
For me, excitement. Obviously, you know, we plan to play with physicality, play fast, play with physicality. But the biggest thing is coaching with love.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Coach taught me a long time ago that, you know, you got to love these kids up, make them feel like it's a family atmosphere, and it truly becomes a family. And, you know, you get the best results when you play like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you know how tough the Federal League is, but you guys really play some tough suckers, man, in the non-conference. Tell us about who the Pups got coming up non-conference before we roll into the Federal League.
So non-conference, we start off with Warren Harding. Good friend of mine I used to coach with at Holman, Matt Richardson.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be exciting. Then we have St. Augustine out of New Jersey. Got some big time kids coming out of there. And then we go Cleveland Heights at home.
And that's that'll be a great game. You know, Heights has been really good the last couple of years. Primarily, they were a basketball school decades ago. Now football, they're really playing well. They've had the young man's name at running back escapes me right now. They had the last couple of years.
Oh, Marquise.
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Yeah.
he was so good. I just pray that he stays healthy as he moves on. But I'll tell you what. What are you most excited about this group this year? I know it's your number one. You're probably still getting to know a lot of the kids, but what excites you the most?
The buy-in. They're all excited. They all, you know, you hear stories. Oh, it'd be tough to coach. This, that. They're buying in. They love ball. They're very coachable. So that for me is exciting. You know, you get a bunch of athletes that are coachable. Can't ask for more.
That's when the magic happens, right? Yeah. Coach, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming over. It's good to meet you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. Renzi Parnell of the Bulldogs at Canton McKinley, and he's headed off, and we're going to keep this baby rolling. Are we allowed to go over 6:30? Am I even allowed to ask that? Can we go over 6:30? Because we definitely will do that. Okay. Who will be? Okay. Very good. Dun, da, da, dun, da, da, dun, da, 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 dun, da, da. Spiders here. Coach John Miller of the East Canton Hornets, and I was looking down the list here. Double-digit seasons now for you, Coach. This is your 10th year at East Canton.
Yeah,
looking good though, and I know you're energized. You always are, right?
Yeah, I am. There's days though you get tired. You know, it is what it is.
That's right.
You know, when you get older. So, but no, it's good.
What's about this time of year? We all know this dinner's coming. And then we know that high school football is knocking. The ball's going to go on the tee. I know you're in the middle of practices and scrimmages, and then you get ready. But do you always do the juices get going, usually about early August for you, or is it even before?
Oh, it's usually before, but they rev up come 2-a-days.
Sure.
And, you know, being able to be out with the kids like that and coach them and do the best you can to put them in the best position, you know, to be successful. So, but no, it you know, we finally get to scrimmage somebody else, and you know, which is nice.
What is your philosophy on the approach to scrimmages? Different coaches look for different things, doing different ways. How do you approach that? Whether it's, what do you have, 2 scrimmages nowadays?
Yes.
2. What do you try to accomplish there?
First of all, the first scrimmage, you want to make sure everybody gets in,
right?
You know, to see so you can evaluate them on film. And but with our numbers, you know, we have 27 kids so total, and so we got to be careful about what we're doing as well, which I've talked to United in Carrollton, who we scrimmaged Saturday. But when we're done, you know. But you got to see them on film, and you got to coach them up, and you know, get ready to
go. Offense, defense this year, maybe 30 seconds on each side of the ball, and is one maybe ahead of the other early on? And what do you look for?
Well, I think we're pretty even, to be honest with you. But offensively, I mean, we're going to run the ball and we're going to throw it. I mean, it might not be exactly 50-50, but we have Owen McCroskey back, who's our starting quarterback. He's a 4-year letterman, and we got Dylan Anderson, who's going to be a 4-year letterman at running back. So, and he'll carry the mail with some other kids, but. You know, I think I'm pleased with where we're at right now. Defensively, you know, this time of year you try to prepare for everything,
right?
And then you just take it off the shelf when you play somebody like, you know, whoever. But at least during the season you can just prepare for one team. But we're covering everything. That's the old 2-a-day rule back in the day when. You know, Joe Demery, Keith Wakefield, Tom McDaniels, they all said that, you know, 2-day rule. That way you at least cover everything. Of course, back then they didn't do all the stuff they do now on offense. And, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming over. Good to grab a little dinner in there, and we'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck
Thanks
to you.
for having me.
You look tremendous. Thank
So
you
do
for coming over.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Spider. There you go. John Spider Miller. Hey, I appreciate you. I tell you, we get some great coaches, great men, and here's another one stepping in. We're ready for you, Coach. Coach Spencer Lino, the new coach of the Perry Panthers, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, and we are rolling live, streaming all over here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, with 1310 WDPN. And hey, first of all, congratulations again. We know we talked a little bit after you got the job, but man, the juices are pumping now, aren't they? You ready to roll?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, we are ready to roll, and obviously we're in the second week of camp, and it's fun to see, especially with a new staff and new systems, just starting to see, guys start to really gel together and buy in. The kids are really buying in right now to our new system and culture here at Perry.
So we always hear about buy-in, and I've asked different coaches, okay, well, what are you selling and what are you trying to get them to buy in? My question has always been, because, kids come and go, they graduate, new ones come in. How do you get them to buy? What's your approach there?
I think playing for your community. Perry has the support. They love football. There's a tradition there. I keep saying it time and time again, but it's the truth. You have a brand of just toughness and discipline kind of instilled in the kids at Perry. And just preaching constantly our core values and getting the kids to buy into their role. What's your role? Do your job. Give the best you can do for what position you've been put in. So I think kids you give them a role, they take ownership, and it's a really good group of kids.
So what kind of philosophy will you bring in on both sides of the ball? And obviously special teams is 30-40% of the game as well, but the big guys got to do the work in the middle, and you got to have a little bit of speed, a little bit of guys that can make and move and shake and bake. But what are your thoughts on both sides of the ball philosophy-wise at Perry, especially for your first year?
Yes, and that's always the big question right now is, Perry's traditionally a wing T, right? And they've been a 4-down, cover 3 team. What I could tell you is that, without getting into the nuts and bolts of everything, is probably a lot of coaches have said, we're still going to run the ball. Maybe our philosophy is not going to, our system, I shouldn't say philosophy, our system might not be completely the same, but we still want to run the football. We have the guys. Perry's always been known for the big boys up front, big skill linebacker bodies. We want to run the ball, and then defensively we want to stop the run and control the line of scrimmage and control the clock. And special teams, obviously, you throw field position in there. That's always the sneaky killer in a game. And pinning guys back, having a good punt team, good kickoff team to really make an offense, drive the field.
Coming over from Maslin, and you talk about tradition, you talk about Friday nights, you talk about magic. This whole area, the Friday night feel, the drums, the smells from the concession stands, the thousands that come in. What does it mean to you to be a coach on the sidelines, your program now in Stark County?
It's a great feeling, and you're 100% right. Yes, Maslin that has a great tradition. Perry has a great tradition. I would argue that the whole county has
absolutely.
I think what you're saying. And I don't think you get that many places. I know it's probably a special place in Ohio. I know down south there's some good communities of football, but I really do believe that the Stark County. I mean, look at this today. All the people coming here just to hear head coaches speak. So I'm extremely honored to be the head coach for the Perry Panthers.
Good stuff. I appreciate you coming over, Coach Spencer Lino. Best of luck to you. We'll see you around, okay?
Thank you very much.
There you go. Spencer Lino, the new head coach at Perry, bringing a whole new ball game to the PTO, and they're going to do a great job. They're going to be successful. They got great kids and got a great staff, and they're going to do some great stuff this year. All right, we are coming up on about 6:34 here, Sam Bourquin Show on the stream right now, and we're ready for Coach Moore if he's is he ready? Oh, they're still they're still chatting out there, but boy, we are rolling. We are getting them through here, and of course the dinner's coming up here pretty soon in the coaches panel. And we got our last coach of the night. Here he comes, Nate Moore of the Maslin Washington Tigers, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, one of 5 coaches in the county, double digits as far as tenure with the Tigers, 11th year, and you've had some great success. Obviously, you got that big ring, that big ring on the finger. We all know about the tradition, but has it gone fast for you at all? I mean, do you ever? I know you coaches don't smell the roses, but what a ride it's been.
Yeah. It's one of those things where depending on the moment of the day, it could feel like, 2015 was 50 years ago or it was yesterday.
Right.
So it's somewhere in between.
How do you keep the energy, keep the juice going? You guys, as we all do when we get to a certain point in life, you're at that age where you look at things a little bit differently, but the kids, they just keep coming. 15, 16, 17, their world's just opening up. How do you keep up with that?
If it was about wins and losses, I probably would have been out a long time ago. It's about the kids and the opportunity to develop, boys into men or, young men into men. It's that keeps you coming back and keeps you motivated. There's little victories and little defeats with that all the time.
Oh yeah.
Right. But it's those victories, with those guys is sometimes you can see the moment where maturity happens and those moments are special, and that's definitely what gets us up in the morning.
And I liken it too. If you're a coach, you let's just say you run a system where your quarterback comes over, you give him the play, he takes it in, he gives it to the kids, they go up, they execute it 100%. They can't do it any better. Maybe you score, you get a first down, he's like, yeah. Like in life, if you see a kid, maybe you got to put your arm around him. Maybe he needs a ride home after practice. Maybe he needs to get a burger on the way home from school. You're there for him. You're a father figure. You're a mentor. That's got to make you feel almost as good or even better, right?
Yeah, it's a hugely gratifying part of the profession. That is the pinnacle of the profession. I don't know how people do regular office jobs. I'm sure everybody has their angle in that way, right?
Sure.
Like it may be a nephew,
Mhm.
right? Or it may be a parent, that needs, care in their elder years, or, I'm sure everybody has somebody. It's unique that it's our profession. But yeah, it's a great profession. It's a special profession, and I'm happy to be at Massillon. It's a very special place with special kids.
Yeah, and all the success you've had, LaSalle, Massillon, football, coaching all the way up. If you weren't coaching, what would you be doing? Is there a passion that as strong that you would want to go a different route?
When I was a kid, I never really thought about coaching or anything like that. I certainly wanted to be a quarterback in the NFL like everybody. But I wanted to be an archaeologist.
Wow, that's above my pay grade.
It was Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I was hooked. I wanted a leather fedora, and a leather jacket, a whip and a 45. So.
You're all in.
Yeah.
That
was the first dream, and then I don't know what happened to that. I guess I just kind of unfortunately grew out of it.
Yeah. When did the football bug? Speaking of bugs, we got them flying all over the place here. When did that hit you and take a hold of you? That you're like, yep, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. This is who I am.
Well, I was cleaning out my locker at the end of my career at the University of Dayton, and going to walk out the big metal double doors, and it was dark in the locker room. I think just the emergency lights were on. Everybody just you got 3 days or whatever to clean out your locker,
sure,
get your personal items, whatever, something like that. And so I think I was probably the only person in there at the time, and I'm walking out and I open the doors, and then it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and the sun hits me, right, and it was literally like in that moment I was like, God, like I don't know if I'm ready for football to be over. But initially I went and I did some semi-pro practice. I never played in a game, but dabbled. And then I was back visiting my offensive coordinator, Dave Wilding, and I'm telling him about it, and I'm bragging a little bit. And he looks at me, and I won't say all the words he used, but if I'm paraphrasing, he said, "Are you an idiot?" And so I was like, okay, well, maybe that's not it. And then I knew that Jim Place was the head coach at Chaminade Julian in high school, because my quarterback played for Coach Place at CJ, and so I just cold called him. I just called him up and asked him for a job, basically, and he let me be the assistant offensive line coach there at Chaminade Julian, coaching the split back veer offense for 5 years. It was, I had a lot of fun, and but it was watching Coach Place when I thought, like, I want to do that. Like, I want to be a head coach. Like, I want to have the effect on players that he has on players. So that's the evolution.
I guess when you know, right? And obviously it's worked out really well. Yeah, about 45 seconds or so. I know you want to get in there and get the dinner line.
Oh, do I?
Oh man, I do too. Believe me. 2025 Massillon. We talked about how kids come and go, graduate, new group comes in, this and that and the other. What excites you most about this group of Tigers?
We're a young group, but a hungry group. And they've been a lot of fun to coach so far, and we haven't played any games yet. We've got our first scrimmage coming up Friday at Avon. But thus far, they've been a lot of fun to be around, and they're certainly not perfect, or we wouldn't have jobs, but
sure.
They got a lot of things trending in the right direction. We've had very good leadership. And our leadership has developed over the course of the off season, which is what you want to see too. And we're going to be young. We only return, I think, 11 starters total, 8 on defense, 3 on offense. But that's being a little generous too, because if a kid started a game, we put him down as a returning starter. So it's probably a couple less than that, really, when you look at full-time starters. And so we're going to be young and we're going to be new. But we're hungry, and the great thing about Massillon kids, and I'm sure there's other places that are great too, where kids are like this, but I could just speak for us, is our kids really care about this. They care about football, and they care about their city. They care about playing for the city of Massillon, and I think that is unique. There's other places that are probably similar, but that is unique. And so it's an honor to be the head coach at Massillon and try to guide these kids on through their next phase of their life.
That's what it's all about, Coach. We appreciate you coming over. The magic happens at One Paul Bound Drive in Massillon, coming up here real soon. Nate Moore, head coach of the Massillon Tigers, and good luck to the Orange and Black here in 2025.